Yeah, you know what it is.
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Yeah, you know what it is.
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collegeville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. Purple and white, but you know what I mean. Double 11 senior year made history. Football, we took it to the playoffs. Collegeville, white and purple, yeah, we are the K-House. I said the K-House, the school of champions. We laugh a lot, we rap a lot. I'm asked I'll be an Indian again. I'm telling them that Collegeville is where it's at. So when we on the field of court, they better be aware of that. They scared of that. Of course, look at the ceiling. What up, Mr. Floyd? Yeah, it's Collegeville. And yes, I'm glad to say that I'm a K-Hawk. I'm about to graduate. Yeah, you know what it is. Collegeville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
White and purple, yeah, I know you see it. You see the chaos and you tell yourself you wanna be it. I go to CHS, so I am a champ. I ran this game so long, I'm starting to get a stomach cramp. Class of 1-2, but we're number one. Shout out to all my juniors, yeah, you know we get it done. White and purple, you already know. It's little easy peasy and that boy lay low.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collegeville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
I'm about my white and purple, Scarface and DJ Screw. We on the peak of the mountain, best at what we do. Yeah, we the champs, homie, but we ain't selling shoes. These boys bleeding purple, call us the cheapin' crew. They don't gotta do it big, cause I don't play with sports. I play my cards right. Now a good report. When Dub 12 comes, it's time to roll off. I'm in the back cause everybody rolling with me. K-Hawks.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Look, all the freshmen, boys,
High school, like a champions.
yeah, they know what it is.
All around my town, everything is
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
we shut it down for the school and the sports team.
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collegeville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
And a very good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to Camelot Bowl here in Collinsville, as we are set to bring you a little Lady Kahok bowling action this afternoon on the Kahok Sports Network. I am Todd Duke. Welcome once again into the pregame show. Today's pregame show brought to you by LC's Pub in Caseyville. Great food, great drinks, and great service served up daily at LC's Pub in Caseyville. 605 North Main Street in Caseyville is where you will find them. You can call in for carry-out orders. That number is 618-855-9007. All right, well, the season is winding down. Collinsville taking on Belleville West here this afternoon in the last head-to-head conference match of the year. Matter of fact, I think it's the last head-to-head match of the year for both of these squads. Collinsville is coached by Sean Haye. He is in his 24th year at the helm of the Lady Kahok bowling program, and Collinsville right now sitting at 8-1 on the year in the Southwestern Conference. The only loss on the year for Collinsville was to Belleville East. Belleville East goes into their final match of the day, or match of the year as well, and they are a perfect 9-0 and looking to take the regular season Southwestern Conference crown. We'll talk about the tournament here in a minute. Belleville West, they are in here at 3-6, and they are coached by Jason Benavides. So Collinsville's last conference match of the year before the Southwestern Conference tournament resumes next week. There are 6 games left in that tournament. 3 of those will be right here at Camelot Bowl on Monday, and then the other 3 will be at Bel Air Bowl in Belleville on Tuesday. And right now, Collinsville sits in first place after the first 6 games that took place in mid-December. And right now, the lead is kind of not too bad. It's very kind of, minuscule. Collinsville's lead over Belleville East right now, just 42 pins, and their lead over O'Fallon is 95 pins. Then it drops off a little bit more. Alton in 4th place, 915 pins back, and then you have Belleville West and Edwardsville bringing up the rear. So the finish to that tournament next week going to be pretty tight. So Collinsville, they're coming off of a second-place finish over the weekend at the Viking Invitational in Rockford. Harlem won that tournament. High game medals were awarded to Livia Montgomery with a 249 and Layla Jaoko with a 244. And these 2 teams met earlier in the year at Bel Air Bowl in Belleville. That was back on the 12th of December, and Collinsville kind of ran away with that one by a score of 39-1. Coach Haye and his Lady Kahok bowling program are the last team to bring Collinsville a state championship. Collinsville went 12-1 that season and went to the finals. Lady Kahawks finished with 12,450 total pins and beat second-place Jefferson High School out of Rockford by 134 pins for the championship. Lady Kahawk Franny Steiner, now Franny Kolsa, won the individual championship that year with 2,756 total pins. 4 of her 6 games were over 200, and she saved the best for last by rolling a 247 in game number 6. Franny, by the way, will be inducted into this year's class of the Kahawk Hall of Fame in next month's ceremony down at the Gateway Convention Center. The team that won that last championship was inducted last year in the first year of the Hall of Fame ceremony. So Franny's going to go in as an individual state champ, and I get the pleasure of seeing Franny every day. She's the secretary at the Hollywood Heights School, so I get to see her every day. All right, our first break comes up, and when we come back, we'll talk things over with head coach Sean Haye. We'll do that after a timeout here on the LC's Pub pregame show right here on the Kahawk Sports Network.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahawk fans, before, after, or even during Kahawk games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahawk games live as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carry-out orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahawk fans' pub of choice.
Plumbing or electrical problems? Is your AC or heater on the fritz? There are dozens of companies out there, but do you really know who you're letting in your home? Trust Tiger. Our technicians are clean-cut, drug-free, and background checked. What other company can make this bold statement? Our 24-hour emergency service will ensure your plumbing, heating, AC, and electric are up and running no matter what time of day it is. Schedule your appointment today. Tiger Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical Services. We earn our stripes every day.
Pack Mail of Collinsville, locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because, well, you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail at 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville. Online, WeShipSt.Louis.com or call Pack Mail at 346-4884.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahawk fans, before, after, or even during Kahawk games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus, they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahok games live, as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carry-out orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahok fans' pub of choice.
And once again, we welcome you back into the LC's Pub pregame show here on the Kahok Sports Network. We're getting ready for the final time for your Lady Kahok bowling team here at Camelot Bowl, with the exception of the Southwestern Conference Tournament here on Monday. But my final bowling match of the year. So let's get you ready for this one by welcoming in Collinsville Lady Kahok head coach Sean Haye. How are you, Coach?
Hey, what's going on, Todd?
You know, hanging out at a bowling alley, so nothing
Fair.
new for you.
That is true.
All right, so tell us a little bit about the Viking Invitational that took place on Saturday.
Well, we got a chance to bowl up at Cherry Bowl. I know it's not going to be the shot we're going to face when we go up there later if we make it to the state finals, but it's always good to see some of those northern teams and kind of gauge where we're at with development and everything compared to the other teams. And I like where we are.
All right, well, you heard me spouting out about the last team championship for Collinsville, and that was your Lady Kahok bowling team back in the 2009-2010 season. Hard to believe that it's been 14 years, huh?
It's been a bit, yeah. It's time to go back.
Yeah, well, let's see if we can do that. All right, before we concentrate on the girls, the bowling team for the boys came to an end yesterday, so I know that's kind of always bittersweet.
Yeah, that's we would like to have gone one more tournament, but all the two competitors we had, Jacob Taylor and Jace Coates, they just fell a little bit short. They were definitely trying their hearts out for sure, and it's always tough when you're bowling with individuals as an individual when you've been bowling with a team all year long.
Had some great support, though, I saw.
Oh, absolutely, and we do appreciate everyone that came out for it. And like I said, they were putting their hearts out there. It just fell a little bit short. The lanes were the change of venue definitely changed the complexion of the whole tournament. Both houses play completely different, which is fine. I mean, that's perfectly good. We were set up to do well and just had a little trouble executing a little bit here, especially it was the third game. Both Jace and Jacob had a little bit of trouble, and that game probably is what cost both of them.
All right, let's get back over here to the girls' side of things, man. How tight are the standings in the Southwestern Conference Tournament going into the final 6 games next week?
Yeah, we had a horrible game, the 6th game at Edwardsville, and that allowed everything to get real close. We had a pretty good lead going into that, and we were looking to extend that lead, but then we dropped off real bad that last game. So we addressed those issues that came about because of that. And since then, I like where we are now today better than where we were at that point. So,
how nice is it to have those first 3 games on Monday here?
Oh, sometimes great. I don't like when it's humid outside, honestly, in any bowling center. But there you go. But so I'm hoping that it's not humid that day. The approaches are a lot better that way if they're not humid.
Well, we got humidity out there now because there's fog everywhere.
Yep, and that all would automatically translate to stickier approaches.
Yeah, and then you got the final 3 games at Bel Air. I know the boys like Bel Air. How do the girls like it?
Oh, we enjoy it. Under normal circumstances, we really, really like it. Our girls bowled there last week, and they had some Oiler issues, so that was tough for both teams. Our totals were a little lower than we normally bowl, but we were able to come away with the win, which is the important thing when you're bowling scratch.
Yeah. All right, I know you had to make some lineup changes, so what do you want to see out of the girls you have here today against Belleville West?
Same thing I would want with anybody in that lineup. Get the pocket, pick the spare. The program is the same no matter what level. Get to the pocket and then pick the spare that's left. And then if you get strikes along the way, even better.
All right, well, thank you very much for the visit. We'll talk to you after Game 3.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you. That is head coach Sean Haye, your Collinsville Lady Kahok bowling head coach, and we will take a final break here on the LC's Pub pregame show. And when we come back, myself, along with last year's graduate from the boys team, Brandon Campbell, he's going to strap on the other headset and join us for a little color commentary during this bowling match today. So we'll do all that coming up here in just a little bit on the Kahok Sports Network.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahok fans, before, after, or even during Kahok games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahok games live as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carry-out orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahok fans' pub of choice.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future, to create your inheritance, to build your vision, to anticipate the known and unknown, and to find potential in both, and build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
Visit Brad Keene at his Collinsville office at 106 North Clinton or call 618-467-8420. Do you have a big land improvement project that requires some outside help? Call Petroff Trucking Company. The Petroff Companies have been shaping the metro area since 1975. Family owned and operated, Petroff Trucking Company can do the job and do it right. Hauling, excavating, and grading, they do that and more. Petroff Companies also has roll-off dumpster rentals. They also specialize in dirt and rock sales. Petroff Trucking Company can help you develop your land for your needs. Petroff Trucking Company. Check out their website, petrofftrucking.com, or give them a call, 618-797-6100. Petroff Trucking Company, shaping the metro area since 1975.
The Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network from day one. Since 1934, the Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been providing women in the community an opportunity to make a difference with fundraisers and projects, all that go towards helping the needy in Collinsville. If you would like any information on any event sponsored by the Collinsville Junior Service Club, head to Facebook, type in Collinsville Junior Service Club, and then click on the Event tab. We thank the Collinsville Junior Service Club for their continued support of the Kahok Sports Network and KahokSports.com.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of Kahok Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go Kahawks.
The Collinsville Education Association is a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network. The CEA is your partner as they work to ensure quality education for our children. The CEA advocates excellence and equity in public education and represent over 400 educators in 11 schools in both Madison and St. Clair counties. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Education Association's Facebook page or the CEA's website at collinsvillecea.org.
Collinsville High School alumni Stacy Lauenstein, CHS class of 91, Lisa Bassetto, Sarah Sulke, and Tracy Limp, CHS class of 94, Tony Geisen, CHS class of 96, and Kevin Robinson, CHS class of 99, want to wish all of our Kahawks a great year. We look forward to cheering you on and supporting you. Work hard on the court and the field, as well as in the classroom. Remember, once a Kahawk, always a Kahawk. Hashtag Kahawk Family. And once again, welcome back to Camelot Bowl here in Collinsville. Just about ready for some bowling action between your Collinsville Lady Kahawks and the Lady Maroons of Belleville West. And let's say a hello to Brandon Campbell, man. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, man. Last year, graduate Collinsville High School on the boys bowling team for a few years yourself. So tell us what you're up to these days.
Well, I'm attending classes at SWIC. I don't exactly know what I want to major in, so decided to go there because it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah, you can just major, and we'll call it general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing.
And you're still bowling?
Yep. I bowl 2 leagues. Actually, have to leave here around 5:30ish to bowl at Bel Air tonight. So.
Who you playing? You know?
Just. I really don't know.
Do you have a team name?
I'm trying to remember our team name. I think we're called Headpin Hunters.
Headpin Hunters. That's kind of cool. All right, we are underway. Let's get me up on my perch here so I can see over everyone's head, and I'll fill you in on what's going on. Belleville West starts off with a sophomore, Alyssa Law, follows that up with a junior, Kaylee Asher, then a senior. The only senior on the squad for Belleville West is Haley Johnson. Allison Law, who I'm guessing is the twin sister of Alyssa Law, since they're both named Law, and they're both sophomores, and their first names begin with an A. It's just an assumption on my part, though. The number 4 bowler, and then Jillian Descamps is the junior, bringing up the rear as the anchor bowler for Belleville West. For Collinsville, Casey Buckman has already gone and picked up a strike on her first throw, followed by Autumn Morley, and then Taylor Mortis, the senior, Layla Jaoko, the sophomore, and Kellen Stevens, the freshman, is going to be the anchor bowler here for this first match for Collinsville. Collinsville had to shake things up a little bit because Emily Dahl apparently is out sick and didn't even make it to school today. Olivia Montgomery was initially in the starting 5, but she's not here either, so Coach had to do some shuffling around. And this is Autumn Morley over on 29. We're on 29 and 30. There is no one over here on 31 and 32. The varsity girls are right in front of you, and the JV girls are to the left of them. They had to switch over here from the side. The JV girls were going to be on 31, 32, but one of the young ladies for Belleville West is in a wheelchair and needs a little bit more room to roam around and be able to get up there and do what she does here. So that's why there is no one over to the right. They decided all that after I set everything up, and then they wanted to make me move. And I'm like, I don't think I can do that. That was Taylor Mortis, who leaves up 2 pins, and here on lane number 30, that is Allison Law, and Allison will leave up the 10 pin. And we are underway. You missed this stuff?
Sort of.
Sort of?
Sort of. During school season, it was pretty stressful with practices almost every day and then tournaments on the weekend. So keeping up with schoolwork was harder than you would think.
Oh, I would imagine so, man, because you guys leave early from school most nights, most days when you have competitions.
Yeah, we usually got out of there around 2, and if we had a home match, it was a little bit before we got out of school. So
here is Descamps on lane 30, and she'll miss that 10 pin that she left. Collinsville, and I guess they went out of order here because I had Descamps going last. But apparently, well, here is Layla Jaoko on 29 for Collinsville. She is the number 4 bowler for the Kahawks. So apparently they moved Haley Johnson down from the number 3 spot to the number 5 spot. And then, yeah, Layla ends up with a 7-10 split. No one ever wants a 7-10 split.
No, I hate that split.
Yep.
You can do a lot right and leave it, too.
All right, so my starting roster is all messed up, especially on the Belleville West side. Okay, well, luckily for me, Belleville West has the names on the backs of their shirts, so I can figure it out as I go along. And here is Jaoko. She tried to aim for that 10 pin, but she missed it, went into the gutter, so she'll start off with a 8 pin and a split. And Collinsville will end the first frame here with the freshman, Kellen Stevens.
She's really bowled well this year.
Yeah, she has. I've seen her a couple of times.
What's she average, like 220 at tryouts?
I haven't even, something like that. And a strike by Kellen. I know that this year she is averaging 183, so that's not bad. The highest average is Casey Buckman's 191. Right behind her,
Taylor Mortis and Livia Montgomery with 190s each. All right, well, I'll have to put that down for a minute because I need to pay attention and start scratching out names over here. So Alyssa Law looks like she's still going first. Here is Casey Buckman for Collinsville on lane 30 after one frame in the books. Belleville West has a 2-pin lead, 47-45. Here is Alyssa Law on 29.
She throws a backup ball over there.
Yeah, kind of, sort of, huh? Looks like she's a right-hander, but the ball starts
Yeah.
off on the left. I'm a lefty, and my ball always starts off on the left.
I'm right-handed, so I don't have that issue.
Yeah, well, I end up having to move over a lot as I go along because my ball will start going from left to right, and then it'll start going straight.
Right.
And I'll have to move. Here is Buckman trying to pick up the 2-4-7 combination over here on 30. Get that in there. Ooh, well, couldn't get the other one to fall. The 4-pin wobbled but wouldn't go down. Here is Alyssa Law over on 29, and she'll split the difference right in between the pins that were left up there and end up with just a 7. All right, looks like Kaylee Asher is still second, so far so good for Belleville West. I think it's 3, 4, and 5 that's kind of been flip-flopped around. Here is Autumn Morley. I don't know much about her. She does not have any varsity stats whatsoever, so I'm guessing this is her first trip into the varsity side of things.
She's a senior, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I have. And she'll leave up 4.
I think she left that on 29 on her last shot, actually.
Yeah.
That exact same thing.
Here is Kaylee Asher for Belleville West on 29, and she'll leave up the opposite side, the 1, 3, and 6 pins. And Autumn Morley getting ready to go over here on 30. Things should move along a little quicker than they normally do with nobody over here on 31, 32 to wait for.
Yeah, that definitely helps.
Sure does. I always said they should split them. Put an empty lane in between the varsity and the JV.
Right. Camelot doesn't like to give us that much space.
No. They're expecting 12 buses to pull up and have all kinds of bowlers in here is what they want.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. All right, Asher leaves a pin up as well, and here is Taylor Mortis. Mortis, also a senior. Down lane 30 she goes. She had a spare on her first trip up. Boy, that hugged that right side.
Yeah, it looked like she got it a little bit right there.
All right, so here is Allison Law. So Allison Law instead of Haley Johnson in the number 3 spot. And Allison is a sophomore. So I'm thinking that Jillian Descamps is now in the number 4 spot. That's I remember her being when I got confused. And that will put Haley Johnson in the 5 spot, which usually makes sense when you're the only senior on the team. Usually you're in that anchor spot. All right, here is Mortis trying to get her spare over here on 30. That looks pretty good, and she does. And Jillian Descamps now over on lane 29. I think I had that score backwards. Collinsville was actually up by 2 pins, 47-45. I got to pay attention to the arrows. All right, here is Descamps, and she left an open frame her last time up. Not going to do it this time. She'll get that spare. Here is Layla Jaoko on lane 30, trying to forget about the bad memory of the 7-10 split. Well, that's not a 7-10 split, but it's not a strike either.
It's not much better, really.
Yeah.
Ball doesn't hook enough on one lane, then it hooks too much on that lane.
Yeah, I know you didn't get to hear Coach Haye in his pregame comments, but he does not like the fog outside because fog equals humidity.
Yes, that is very true.
That was Haley Johnson over on 29. She'll leave up 3, the 2, 4, and the 5 pin, I believe. Or maybe the 4, 7, and 8. That looks more like it. I don't know.
On 29?
Yeah.
That's the 2, 4, 5.
Okay. I was right the first time.
Yeah.
Shouldn't second guess myself. Layla will pick up her spare on 30. And here is Haley Johnson trying to do the same over on 29, and she will. So frame number 2 is over for Belleville West as we wait on Kellen Stevens to end things over here on 30. She had a strike in the first frame, so we're hoping for a little double, a double. That looks good. There we go. How about back-to-back strikes by the Lady Kahok freshman Kellen Stevens. So after 2 frames in the books, Collinsville still holding on to that 2-pin lead, 122 to 120.
Really quick while we have a second, I want to give a quick shout out to Mr. Matthew Falvey. He gave me a shout out when he did his interview. So
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Figured I would return the favor, and I'm sure he's going to be listening to every second of this as long as I'm here.
Well, that's good. What's up, Matthew? All right, Casey Buckman over on 29 gets us started in frame number 3. And she'll do so with a strike. So back-to-back strikes if you count Stevens to end the second and Buckman to start the third. So 2 strikes in the first 3 frames for Buckman as Allison Law has that ball travel all the way over to the right and missed the head pin.
This is their last match of the year, correct?
Yes, it is. Both teams have to finish up the Southwestern Conference tournament Monday.
Yep.
3 games here. Tuesday, 3 games at Bel Air Bowl and Belleville. Then
Yes.
the season will be over.
And
regular
then
season.
Regionals and
Yep.
all the fun stuff.
Yep. Regionals will start next Saturday.
The third?
I believe so. Here is Autumn Morley, and Morley will leave up the 1, 2, and the 4. Alyssa Law. I've never seen a right-handed bowler start that far with her ball off to the left and have it move that way.
I've seen it a couple times, but it's definitely not very common at all.
It looks weird.
Yeah, it really does.
Here is Morley trying to pick up her spare over on 29 before Kaylee Asher begins on 30. And Morley looking pretty good from there, and that's a nice spare for Morley, and she has back-to-back spares. Here is Kaylee Asher. Asher right on top of that head pin, leaves herself a split. When your ball's that straight and goes right at the head pin, you're bound to leave a split.
Yeah, you don't want to see your ball do that.
No. After I have to straighten myself out, my ball does that quite a lot, actually. Here's Taylor Mortis.
That's got a hook.
No.
Oh, boy.
It did not. Fell off the ledge. So the old 10-pin spare is what Mortis is going to have to get now. Here is Asher, and Asher is going to kick a field goal.
3 points.
Haley Johnson just did the same thing, the old field goal signal. Buffalo Bills were hoping for that the other night, but that went wide right.
Yeah, my mom's a Chiefs fan, so
Yeah.
she was happy.
I know there were a lot of Chiefs fans that were. Here is Allison Law on 30 for Belleville West. So Allison and Alyssa have 2 totally different styles of throws.
Yeah, but they're easy to confuse with their names.
Yeah, that's true. So Taylor Mortis on 29 has a 10-pin spare she's going for. That
Looks
one
a
will
little
curve
better.
in, and she'll
Yeah.
take care of that 10-pin spare. Not exactly what you want. That's when you walk back and you go, why couldn't I have done that in the first place?
Just looked like she got a little bit lazy on her first shot there and just kind of threw it out there.
So Allison Law missed into the gutter off to the right on lane 30. And here is Layla Jaoko on 29 for Collinsville.
I believe Layla is actually the only one on the team to bowl every game in these matches this year.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me. She came on strong last year as a freshman, man. She was fun to watch.
She's really good.
She is. Here's Descamps on 30 for
Oh,
Belleville West. And we got back-to-back balls in the gutter over here by Law and Descamps.
Monkey see, monkey do, I guess.
I guess. Kellen Stevens looking for a turkey to start off this day. And on 29, she'll leave up a bunch of different pins. That's a mess.
That is the 4, 7, 9, 10, I believe.
Yeah, I believe you're right. That's a mess.
It is a mess.
4, 7, 9, 10 sounds like a mess. Or my old locker combination, one of the two. Here is Descamps. Enters that, hits that head pin on the left side and leaves up the 6 and the 10. Stevens, not sure what she's going to be able to do here, but she'll give it her best. Trying for the far ones on the left, hoping for a little kickback. Got a little bit of a kickback, but not enough.
Yeah, I actually thought I was going to bounce and hit that 9 pin.
Yeah, me too. Haley Johnson misses the head pin, but
somehow leave the head pin.
Somehow, that's the only pin left. She'll take it, I guess. Better than hitting only the head pin and leaving up 9.
I don't even know that that's possible, actually.
I don't either. You know what I saw the other day that I didn't think was possible was the 4-pin slide all the way over and stop right where the 3-pin used to be. I've never seen that before either.
Yeah, I was here when that happened.
Yeah, that was crazy. I think I made it onto SportsCenter with that call.
If you were to somehow only get the head pin off of the rack, it's actually considered a split.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't even know how that's possible. I mean,
don't-
you would have to, that ball would have to go so slow and kind of come in from an angle just to knock the pin over and then stop. So I don't really think it is possible.
Unless you throw a pebble down the lane.
I don't know. I wouldn't suggest that. There you go. Casey Buckman picks up her third spare out of the first 4 frames. Had an open frame in the second. There is Alyssa Law, and she leaves up a mess over there too. 1-3-6, and then the 7-pin tucked back into the left-hand side.
Did you mean 3 strikes for Casey? You said
Yeah.
spare.
I said spare?
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens every once in a while. Usually no one's here to catch me with my mistake, so thanks for
Right.
pointing that out.
Yep, no problem.
Here's Autumn Morley on 30 for Collinsville. Knew I had you here for a reason.
Yeah.
There you go. Strike for Morley, her first out of the first 4 frames. After a back-to-back spare, she picked it up a little bit, and a nice job there by Alyssa Law over on lane 29. She got the 3 instead of just getting the 1. Well, that's always important. So your dad lost his voice, huh?
Yeah.
How nice is that for you?
It's kind of weird sitting around the house not being able to talk to him.
Yeah, well, you can talk to him all you want to. He just can't talk you back.
Yeah, I can just text him.
Yeah, there you go. That works. I asked him if he was going to keep scores for me. He was like, I don't have a voice. I'm like, I don't need your voice. I just need you to write down stuff
Yeah.
on a paper.
There's only 3 scores over there on JV, though, so.
Yeah. Well, the one that I'm worried about is the varsity. I want to get the numbers right, and I'm still a little bit confused on the scoring system. I'll get it down one of these days.
Yeah, I don't exactly know why they do it that way, but it is what it is.
I mean, I guess it makes sense. You got to do something to make sure that there's tiebreakers and things don't end up dead even.
Right. But theoretically, you could have a 20-20 tie.
Yeah, you could.
I don't know how likely it is, but.
Taylor Mortis picks up her spare over on 30. Kaylee Asher trying to do the same thing over on lane 29. And the other Asher. No, that's Kaylee Asher. Never mind, I got 2 Laws, not 2 Ashers. She misses. That would have been a pretty good ball if that all 10 pins were up.
Yeah, that is true.
Here is Layla, and she'll enter it from the right side. And the second
Oh
time in
my.
a row. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
The 10 pin went down. Took a minute, but at least she didn't have that 7-10 split. Here's Allison Law for Belleville West on 29, and she almost got left with a 7-10 split also. 7-10 splits, man. Those are things you don't want.
No, apparently this pair likes leaving them, though.
Yeah. Jaoko on lane 30, trying to pick up that 7-pin.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Heading right for it. Same thing awaits Allison Law over on 29. And that needs to move a little bit more, and it won't. Not in time. If the lane was about 10 more feet longer, that probably would have worked.
Coach Haye a couple years ago, well, not a couple years ago. It would have been my junior year. But the point is that he's now having all of his bowlers throw straight at spares, which leaves less room for error.
Yeah. Less movement, more straight point A to point B.
You know exactly what the ball's going to do when you do it that way.
Kellen Stevens leaves up 1 pin, and over on the other side, Descamps leaves up 1 pin as well. So over here on 30. For the freshman, the 2-pin awaits. And over on 29 for Descamps, it is the 9-pin that awaits.
I think that might actually be the 6-pin.
Could be. It is. Replay says 6-pin. So Stevens will get first crack at it here. We're almost through the 4th frame. And
yeah, that looks pretty good.
There you go. Follow the arrow. So Collinsville is on the left screen, aren't they?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so I was wrong, and now we have a bigger lead by Collinsville as Descamps misses her spare try on 29. So now it's just up to Haley Johnson to see if she can get a little bit closer to Collinsville, because right now Collinsville has almost a 60-pin lead, but we have 1 bowler left to go before we can make that determination. And here is Johnson on 29. Ooh, boy. That one was hugging that line.
I don't know how it stayed on the lane.
Neither do I. Centrifugal force.
Apparently, yeah.
So Johnson has her work cut out for her. She has the 1, the 5, the 9, 8, and 7.
Yeah, that's not something you want to leave either.
No. Coming in at a good location, though, and leaves the 7-pin up. So after 4 frames in the books, Collinsville up 287 to 240, so a 47-pin lead here for Collinsville. The last time that these two teams met at Bel Air Bowl back on December 12th, Collinsville won 39-1.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is. The only loss this year was to Belleville East. I think I was here covering the boys against Belleville East on that night, and I was kind of shocked when I left out of here and went, what, the girls lost? Belleville East is pretty good. O'Fallon's pretty good, too.
Yeah, O'Fallon is pretty good. They their boys team made it to state this year.
Yep. Yeah, they were, their only loss to the year was to Collinsville here on a game that we did.
Yeah.
You were here for that one, weren't you?
I was.
Yeah, that was the same one.
I unfortunately missed the 10th frame where they won it.
Yeah.
I had to take off for league that night, but.
Yeah, that was quite impressive. Nice comeback there by the Kahawks that day.
Yeah, I think they were pretty motivated to beat O'Fallon.
Here is Casey Buckman trying to pick up her spare on 29. She does. Alyssa Law has one more pin to pick up than Buckman did, and here is her try. I mean, she looks like a left-handed bowler using her right hand.
I don't know how you can get your wrist to do that.
I don't know either. She's got a Gumby wrist, man. Kind of elastic and held together with rubber bands.
I know people that do it, and one of them that I know plays softball, so.
Ah, yeah. Here is Autumn Morley, and Morley will pick up back-to-back strikes. As Kaylee Asher lets it fly down 30, looking for a little movement. It never broke.
Not quite the mess that was just over on 29.
No.
Right, but not much better.
Not much. You have to hit that head pin right on and then hope the ball stays true and kind of kicks off both of those pins that are left in between.
Right.
Taylor Mortis on 29 for Collinsville. And she'll leave one. Sometimes it amazes me of all the action down there with all the pins flying around everywhere that one gets left.
Yeah.
Ever watch that stuff on TV and they show it to you in slow motion? I'm like, man, how does that even happen? That's not bad. Oh, good pickup over there by Kaylee Asher. That's not easy.
That's not the way I would have drawn it up, but she got it.
Yeah. Here is Allison Law. And down 30 it goes, coming in from a nice angle and a strike for Allison Law. She started off with back-to-back strikes in the first and the second, then back-to-back open frames in the second and the fourth until that strike. And Mortis will pick up her spare, although by her body language, it didn't look like she was going to hit that thing.
She didn't seem very confident in that one.
Yeah. She was probably just mad because she left a pin.
Yeah.
Here is Jillian Descamps, the junior for Belleville West. Coach Benavidez standing right there watching her. And how about back-to-back strikes for the Lady Maroons? There is Layla Jaoko on 29 for Collinsville. Looking to stay away from those splits. That's the best way to stay away from the splits, is just to knock all of them down.
Yeah, just flush 10 back.
So we're down to the anchor bowlers on both sides. Haley Johnson, the senior for Belleville West. Down 30 it goes. And the 10 pin gets left. Here is Kellen Stevens, the freshman for Collinsville on 29. That looks pretty good. And how about another strike for Stevens? That's her third. And after 5 frames in the books, Collinsville extends their lead 394 to 289. Almost got him by 100 pins. Oh, I forgot that Johnson had to go yet. She misses, so it's going to stay that way anyway. 394 to 289 through 5 frames. 5 down, 5 to go.
And 2 more games after that.
Yep. We are off tomorrow before we return home for a little boys basketball action, trying to shake off that ugly loss last night against Highland in overtime.
Was that at Highland or was it at home?
No, it was at home. I believe that loss is probably going to knock Collinsville out of the state top 10.
If I was guessing, I would say that's probably true.
Yep. I haven't done a boys basketball game since January 5th.
That was a couple weeks ago, right?
Well, today's the 24th, man, so 19 days ago. Yeah.
Losing track of days here.
I know. Not because that's what I wanted to happen, but they moved that one game against at Belleville East. They moved it from that Friday to that Thursday because of the impending snowstorm that was coming.
That I don't know that we ever got any snow.
No, we didn't get any snow, but the temperatures plummeted.
Oh yeah. Thankfully, it's not like that today, though.
It's like Belleville West week here, man. I had Belleville West at Belleville West in girls basketball last night. Got the girls here today in bowling. Got the boys basketball at home on Friday.
Didn't see a lot of Belleville West.
I am. Maroon is not one of my favorite colors. Just the color, by the way, not the team.
It's the color of our middle school.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we have begun the 6th frame, and here is Kaylee Asher on 29 for Belleville West. Well, this is my last bowling match. I've got one more hockey game next week on Monday before their playoffs start. So after today, we're going to be down to just basketball and hockey.
And then basketball postseason will be starting before too long.
Yeah. Ladies usually start about the middle of February. The boys start about 10 days later. And Autumn Morley leaves a pin over on 30. Asher over on 29 trying to pick up her lone pin. And that's going to have a long way to go, and that's not going to get there. Another one that looked like it would have been a strike.
Yeah.
If all 10 pins would have been up. Here is Taylor Mortis.
You think we'll see a Quincy Collinsville rematch
Ooh,
for
boy.
basketball?
That's those are tough, man. Did that last year.
Yeah.
There you go. Strike by Mortis. Of course, we had the matchup in the championship game of the Prairie Farms Holiday Basketball Tournament between those two schools. So whenever those two teams get together, it's always fun.
I missed that last one. My dad and I were up in Champaign watching Illinois play, so I didn't get to see it, but I heard it was a good game.
It was. Layla Jaoko on lane 30 now for Collinsville. Yeah, man. Just didn't move far enough to the left in quick enough fashion. She got a sleeper pin up there as well to deal with.
Yeah, I think she missed that a little bit left of her target, and that's why it just kind of sat there.
Yep. So a sleeper pin style, the 2 and the 8 right behind it. Plus you got the 7 tucked back there in the corner. Not an easy pickup, man, because you got to try to hit that 2 pin head on to get that 8 pin and then hope something happens with the 7.
It's obviously easier when you don't have an 8 pin back there.
Yeah. Yeah, because then you come in on the same side she came in on the head pin, and that would have been perfect.
Right.
Well, here is her try on 30.
It's got to
move over there. Move over there. Move over there. No.
She got the 8 pin.
That's hard to do too.
Yeah.
She at least got one in front. Yeah. Here is Descamps over on 29 now for Belleville West. She's looking for back-to-back strikes. Will not get it there. Kellen Stevens on lane 30 for Collinsville. Pretty good start for her so far for the freshman. Get in there. There you go.
I don't know what ball she's throwing, but she's got a lot of room with that ball right now.
Yeah, that's her 4th strike in the first 6 frames, so not bad for the young lady. Freshman Kellen Stevens. And here is Descamps, and she'll throw that one into the gutter. So once again, we are down to just Haley Johnson here before we can move on to the 7th frame.
Does she have pink on only one half of her hair?
I think so.
Not sure I've seen that one before.
Nothing amazes me anymore.
Yeah.
Back in my day, you would have had everybody would have looked at you weird if you had pink hair. Nowadays, it's acceptable. She's got tattoos too. Back in my day, no parent ever allowed their kids to have tattoos back in the day when they were in high school.
She's throwing a pink ball too, so it matches her hair.
Yeah. All right, after 6 frames in the books, Collinsville up 494 to 366. Of course, back in my day, we didn't have phones in our pockets either.
Yeah.
The only phones we had were on the wall or on a desk. Here is Casey Buckman on 29 with a strike. How about that? Casey, her 4th strike here in this first game. Here is Alyssa Law on 30. Got that ball to move in the right direction this time, but still leaves up the 6 and the 10.
She really gets around that backup ball, too.
Yeah.
You got to have a strong wrist to do that.
Or a wrist made out of gum.
That, too.
Held together by some Hubba Bubba. See, you guys don't even know what that is, do you?
Oh, I've heard of it.
Okay.
I have heard of that.
Here's Autumn Morley on 29. Sometimes I date myself just by opening my mouth. I was going to say bazooka, but I don't think anybody would have got that either.
Yeah, that I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Those are little bitty square pieces of bubble gum. and you opened them up and there was a comic inside.
Yeah, I've never heard of those.
Yeah. Bazooka Joe.
Now that I've heard of.
Yeah. Hubba Bubba was a big gum back in my day, and Bubblicious.
I don't know that I've heard of that one either.
Taylor Mortis on 29 for the Lady Kahawks, looking for a team turkey, and that's not going to happen. As Kaylee Asher throws it down lane 30 for Belleville West. That looks good, but the 10-pin stands. That was a good hit.
10-pin had other ideas.
Yeah, it did. 10-pin's down there going, ha, I got Velcro.
Yeah. That feels like that sometimes at this
yeah.
place.
And sometimes it's not just one bowler, it's like all the bowlers.
No, the tricky thing about Camelot Bowl is that you cannot throw it outside of 10 down lane. Because if you do, then you're going to hang that 10-pin all day. And I didn't see where she hit on that one, but I would assume that's what happened.
Going for the 10-pin, and she'll just nick the left side of it and get it to go.
All you got to do is hit it.
Yeah. Here's Taylor Mortis on 29, trying to pick up that 6-10 for another spare. And she will. Allison Law, the sophomore, on lane 30. For the Lady Maroons, that's got a good approach. Oh, leaves up the left side. Now, Collinsville's lone sophomore in the lineup tonight, Layla Jaoko, down 29. Left up the same thing Mortis did, the 6 and the 10. The 4 and the 7 is what Law left herself, and she'll miss both of them. Thought she was going to get that 7 for a minute. Now, Jaoko on 29, trying to pick up her spare before Jillian Descamps goes over here on 30.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, there you go. So Mortis and Jaoko pick up their 6-10s left behind, and here is Descamps with a strike.
Layla's usually pretty good on her spares. She works at it a lot, so.
Kellen Stevens on 29 now for Collinsville, looking for a turkey. Second time she's tried to get a turkey here. And this one, this time successful. Had back-to-back strikes in the first and the second. And now she'll pick up a turkey. Excuse me. 5th, 6th, and 7th. Johnson with a split. Well, for a right-handed bowler, that's a horrible split.
Yeah.
The 2 and the 10, you got to hit the 2 on the left-hand side to get it to kick over into the 10.
I normally, if I would left that, I would just try and get one. It's really not worth shooting at it, but looks like she's giving it a try.
Oh, that was a really good effort. Almost pulled it off. Yeah, some things are a lot easier when you're left-handed. Some things, most things definitely are not.
That would have been a good case for I don't know her name, but the one that throws the backup ball.
Yeah.
That would have been a lot easier
Yeah,
for
that
her.
would be Alyssa Law. Here's Casey Buckman on 30. Yeah, that would have played into her ball very well. And Buckman misses the head pin. Here is the aforementioned Alyssa Law over on 29. And that ball from the left to the right and a strike. How about that? See, we just don't know what we're talking about.
No, apparently we don't. But hey, she got a strike, so.
You should hear the comments I get when I'm out golfing left-handed. You know you're standing on the wrong side of the ball, don't you?
I don't. My golf experience consists of mini golf, and that's it.
Yeah. Buckman picks up her spare. And there are some times when I'm golfing with a righty and the ball ends up close to a tree, and I'm like, boy, you know, I could hit that because I'm a lefty. Because, you know, I'm going this way and the tree's right there.
Yeah.
And they're going, like, I'm trying to, well, got to give yourself some relief then. We're not professional golfers by any means, so we'll go ahead and move that ball away from the tree a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm a little bit better at bowling than I am at golf.
Well, you know what? You got to be good at something.
Right.
I'm not good at bowling or golf. I just like to do both.
Mini golf is fun.
Yeah, it is. I'm good at announcing sporting events, so that's
true.
what I do.
Yeah.
All right, so Autumn Morley has herself a sleeper. And here is that try down 30. Looks good for the sleeper part, but the 7 remains. Allison Law down 29, and she will pick up her spare. Collinsville's lead, though, continues to grow. Collinsville already over 600, and Belleville West still stuck in the 400s. Here is Taylor Mortis down 30 for Collinsville. Well, that ball is on the way. Get it. There you go. I heard Coach Sean Haye said the same thing just when I was getting ready to say it. I was trying to will it. Move left. Nice strike pickup there by Mortis. And for Taylor, that is just her 2nd strike here in this first match. Everything else has been a spare for her, though, so that's nice.
West has 3 wins this year. Is that what you have?
Yes, 3 and 6.
And then Alton is behind them and Edwardsville behind them.
Yep. Edwardsville's had a rough year in the bowling department, that's for sure.
Alton's had a pretty rough year, too.
Yeah. As Jaoko leaves up pin number 10. Descamps trying to pick up pin number 6 over on 29.
I don't know who else Alton has, but I know Jillian Dwiggins. Her dad, Jerry Dwiggins, is really good. So she's got a good mentor there. She'll be really good by the time her senior year rolls around.
Layla misses the 10 pin. I do play Xbox bowling at home all the time.
I've never done that before.
My wife constantly kicks my butt. She's already bowled 2 300 games.
I've got a few 300s in Wii.
Yeah, I remember doing the Wii bowling too.
Wii bowling's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Kellen Stevens down 30 for Collinsville. Right on that head pin, but leaves up 1. I believe that's the 6th pin as well. And that's one of those cases where all the pins swarmed around it, but it just wouldn't fall.
I don't know if I have more 300s in Wii bowling or in person, now that I think about it.
How many in person do you have?
6.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. When I was bowling on a league back in the day, I was consistently over 200, but I never even remotely came close to a 3. Here's Stevens down 30 trying to pick up her spare. She will. And that is the end of frame number 8. Collinsville still out front. 689 to 496. Almost a 200 pin lead here in this first game of 3. So we enter the 9th, and Casey Buckman will get the 9th started on lane 29. And she'll do so with a strike. Want to heat up as you get going into these later frames.
Yeah. Yeah, the 9th frame is a really important frame.
Allison Law with that backwards little bowling style she has there. She doesn't walk up and throw in motion. She'll go up to the foul line and stop.
Yeah.
And then throw the ball. Here is Autumn Morley. Morley on 29. And how about back-to-back strikes to start off frame number 9 for the Lady Kahawks? Law. She stops before the foul line, though.
Yeah,
gotta take that step.
Yeah.
And that's not bad. She'll pick up the spare. Taylor Mortis on 29, trying to make it a team turkey. Down 29 he goes. Get over there, get over there, get over there, get over there. And nope. Didn't happen. Kaylee Asher on lane 30 now for Belleville West.
I heard
gotta drop that ball.
I heard Coach Haye say hook as soon as Taylor threw that.
Yeah. Asher, I like Fred Flintstone over there. Threw that ball about a quarter of the way down before it actually landed.
Sometimes when these lanes gets really dry, that's what you have to do is you have to get left and throw it in the air to get over the dry spot.
Oh, okay. Never thought about that before.
Yeah, like at I don't know how to say the name, but the liqueur tournament.
Yeah.
They get so dry here in the afternoon, and there's been times where some of the bowlers are in front of the ball return taking 3 steps instead of their full 5.
That's at the usually right at the beginning of the year when it's still kind of warm outside too.
Right.
Here is Mortis, and she'll pick up her spare. Nicely done. That's not easy. Allison Law down 30. Nice approach to the head pin. Picks up a strike.
She looks pretty excited about that.
Yeah, she
one.
is. Layla Jaoko on 29. Having a bit of an off game for her. Leaves up 2. Jillian Descamps on lane 30 for Belleville West.
That 7-10 in the first frame doesn't help that.
No, it doesn't. Kind of gives you a sour taste in your mouth to start off with. Descamps almost got that 7-pin to fall. There were a couple of pins heading that way, but they stopped short. Here is Jaoko on 29. She'll,
chopped the 6-pin.
Yeah, left the 10.
I guess next time I'll keep my mouth shut about her being a good spare shooter.
Well, you know, it happens every
I
once in
think
a
I
while.
jinxed that.
Yeah. I think the 7-10 split jinxed her.
That doesn't help.
That ball never would move all the way over to the left for Descamps, and she does the old, Here is Kellen Stevens, who's having a pretty good first game here. She's the leading scorer right now for Collinsville.
Freshman anchor over there.
Yeah. You don't see that very often. Here is Haley Johnson on lane 30. Nice looking ball there. She'll pick up the strike. Stevens will throw down 29, and the only thing we have left in this first game is frame number 10. And she'll pick up that spare. We head to the 10th and final frame. Collinsville well out front, 766 to 585. So we'll switch up lanes once again, and we'll begin frame number 10 of this first game, scheduled for 3. Start us off, Casey. Start us off. Buckman down 30. Right on it. There you go. That's how you want to start off the 10th frame.
These girls have a cheer for just about everything.
I know. I kind of like it, though. Makes things a little bit more interesting. You know, it's bad enough that I get spam phone calls all the time. Now I'm starting to get spam text messages.
Oh, I've been getting those for a while.
My God, leave me alone. Block this number. I've got health insurance. Thank you very much. Here is Buckman's second try. That one didn't break at all.
No.
So she'll have one more throw, and then her first game of the day will be in the books. And Alyssa Law over on 29 picks up a spare, so she'll have one more throw as well. But it looks like Casey Buckman is going to win that head-to-head match big time. Buckman, one final throw down lane 30. The 1, 2, and the 7. Here is her try.
Looks
pretty good. Yeah, there you go. That's a nice way to end up. And Casey will end up with a 202. Last throw here for Alyssa Law on 29 for Belleville West. She'll miss the head pin. And Alyssa's first game is over as well, and she will end up with a 121. So one head-to-head matchup already in the books. Here is Autumn Morley on 30 for Collinsville. She'll leave up 1. She's going head-to-head with Kaylee Asher. And Asher, over on 29, had to wait for the pin sweeper to do its thing. Asher, very deliberate in her approach. She gets up there and stands in the right spot and waits for a second. And now she's ready to go. And a strike to start off for Asher. Morley trying to pick up a spare to give herself one more throw. Get over there. Did not get over there. So Morley will end up with a 155. And Asher has a chance to pass that up. Asher right now with a 143 with 2 left to throw.
She's got to get this strike, though.
Yeah, she does. Approached the head pin on the opposite side from what she wanted, and leaves up the 6 and the 10. Here is Taylor Mortis down lane 30 for Collinsville. Get in there. I said the same thing. Me and Coach Haye are thinking along the same line here. I don't know if that's scary or good.
I think that's a good thing.
Okay. Here is the final throw for Kaylee Asher over on 29. And the best she can do is a 153?
Yes.
Yep. And she will end up with a 153. So Morley got her by 2 pins.
Maybe a little closer than Coach Haye would have liked there.
I think.
Got the win nonetheless.
Mortis and her second one. How about back-to-back strikes in the 10th? Here is Allison Law. That's going up head-to-head against Mortis. And she will not get a strike. I don't think there was any way for her to catch up anyway.
No, I think Taylor pretty much has this one.
Yeah. Mortis, one final throw for her here in this first game. And it's on the way. How about a turkey in the 10th? Every time I say something about a turkey, it messes
not
up.
Quite.
Nope. But Taylor still ends up with a 192. Not bad. And Allison Law will end up with a spare to finish out her first game and end up with a 159. So Collinsville has won the first 3 head-to-head matches here. And next up, the number 4 bowlers for each team. And we'll begin with Layla Jaoko on lane 30 for Collinsville.
I think she's got her match won too.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
She's not going to be very happy about the score that she's going to post, but
Probably
that'll make it look a little bit better. Right now, she went into this 10th frame with a 131, well under that 190 average, and I don't think she'll make it even close to 190, but she will win the head-to-head as Jillian Descamps leaves up 1 pin. Oh, I'm sorry. That was Allison Law's final throw. She ended up with a 168. Here is Jaoko on 30. Too much head pin.
She made a ball change in the middle of this game, so I think she might be fighting through that a little bit. Might explain the lower score for her.
Yeah, I don't understand all the different bowling balls that people use. Whenever I bowled on a league, I had 1 ball. What are they, different weights, I guess?
Well, not so much weights. I don't know if she throws 14 or 15, but the core is what's different, and the cover stock are also different. So, like, the ball that she was throwing earlier, I actually have that ball. It's called a Zen. That ball is meant to hook more down the lane, and the one that she went to is meant to hook sooner. So the ball that she was throwing was just going too far down the lane, and she switched to one that's going to give her more room, basically.
Gotcha. All right, so Jaoko ended up with a 151. We're still waiting for Descamps to finish up over there. In the meanwhile, Kellen Stevens over on 30, who started off strong, has not had an open frame. Yes, she did. Sorry, in the 3rd. Everything else has been strikes or spares.
Still a pretty good game here.
Oh, yeah. Here is Descamps. And after a strike, she'll leave up 2, so she'll have those 2 left on her final throw. Stevens trying to pick up the same 2 pins over here on 30 to give herself an extra throw and get her first game above 200. And she will.
Get the
Descamps down 29 for her last throw.
207 here for Kellen.
It could be. That's what we're hoping for, right?
If my math is right.
Yeah. Descamps picks up her spare, and Jaoko will win the head-to-head match, 151 to 117. And it looks like Collinsville is going to win all 5 head-to-head matches, as Stevens is ready to throw her final ball before Haley Johnson steps up, and she does not get a strike.
So 203, I think.
You are correct.
Yep, 203.
So the freshman ends up with the highest game of the first game with a 203 right behind Casey Buckman's 202. And the only bowler left is Haley Johnson, the senior for Belleville West.
Got to get the scores over there.
Johnson leaves up the 1, 2, and the 4 over on 29. Trying to pick up a spare to get herself one more throw. And she will not. That's got to be a disappointing finish for her. 155. So Collinsville wins all 5 of the head-to-head matches. 9:03 to 7:14 is what the total pin count was. And Collinsville is off and running. Time for us to take a commercial break. Get down off my perch here. And we will update the scoreboard and everything while we're in commercial. And we will be back with game number 2 of this match. And we'll be back in just a moment here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Your home is where you feel happy, safe, and secure. So if you see signs of foundation problems like cracks or uneven floors, worrying is natural, and getting it fixed is crucial. Woods Basement Systems understands. We've been solving foundation worries since 1986. Woods experts have the training and equipment to make permanent repairs. So stop worrying, because with Woods, it's fixed forever. Foundation problems don't get better with time, they get better with Woods, the all things basement-y experts. Call or go to woodsbasementsystems.com today.
Just because we're adults doesn't mean we don't have toys, am I right? If your adult toys consist of boats, campers, or RVs, then you need to call the GASA storage team of professionals. Winter weather in the Midwest can be quite harsh, and finding a place to properly store those expensive toys for winter can be just as rough as a Midwest winter. That's where the GASA storage team comes in, with outdoor self-storage and covered storage for your toys. They even have tractor-trailer parking. Conveniently located at Horseshoe Lake Road and 111 in Pontoon Beach. GASA Storage, for the safe storage of all of your toys. Contact the GASA Storage team, gasastorage@gmail.com, or call today, GASA Storage Team, 618-797-6100. Keep your ride shiny and clean with Extreme Details Vehicle Detailing in Collinsville. Owner Jay Merkel and his crew at Extreme Details believe in the value of community and in helping their community hold the value of their vehicles with a sharp-looking, clean ride that you and your community can be proud of. Extreme Details can handle any job, whether you drive a small car, an SUV, or even a bus or RV. No job is too big or too small at Extreme Details. Extreme Details offers scratch and oxidation removal, no matter what you drive: cars, trucks, motorcycles, boats, and more. Plus, Extreme Details can handle fleet vehicles for you and your company. Call Jay and the gang at Extreme Details at 618-977-1224. Check for periodic specials on the Extreme Details Facebook page. Put the shine in your ride with Extreme Details, 618-977-1224. Looking for a new place to catch the game with a cold drink and some great food? Look no further than 1101 Bar and Grill in Caseyville. 1101 Bar and Grill features pizza, burgers, wraps, and salads, plus 7 large screen TVs to catch the latest Kahok games and all of the pro sports across the spectrum, and all the college football and basketball you can handle. 1101 Bar and Grill in Caseyville, 1101 Caseyville Road, right across the street from Kahok Stadium. Call 1101 Bar and Grill for carryout orders at 618-223-1332. Todd Duke here, proud member of the Collinsville Educational Assistants Association. Whether you call us teachers' aides, paraprofessionals, or educational assistants, it all comes down to one thing: taking care of students. More importantly, your student. Yes, we are there for the teachers, and we help them in any way possible. But our goals are in line with our teachers, in that we want to see our students succeed at not only being a student, but well beyond that, as we ready them for the world outside of the classroom. We are Union Strong. We are Kahok Strong. We strive to help students reach their potential. We are the Collinsville Educational Assistants Association. Go Kahawks! Once again, we welcome you back to Camelot Bowl. My name is Todd Duke. Brandon Campbell, last year graduate, is on the other microphone. And Collinsville, by virtue of winning the game,
and winning all 5 head-to-head matches, have a 10-0 lead. By the way, the JV girls lost their first game. We're keeping an eye on them as well. I think they might be short some bowlers over there too, so that'll have a lot to do with it.
I believe they are missing 2. They're only bowling with 3.
Yeah, they're only 3 of them on my list here as well. So that's unfortunate, but it's all about the reps, getting games in when you're talking about the JV side. So, all right, I'm going to step aside for a minute. We're going to leave Brandon over here all by himself, and he'll fill you in on what's going on with game number 2 as frame number 1 is already in the books, and Collinsville is up 50-44. Take it away there, Brandon.
Yep, will do. Really good start for Collinsville in that first frame. Here's Casey on 29. Ball's got to hook a little bit. There's another 7-10. And you got the backup ball, Alyssa Law on 30. She will leave up the 4-pin. Coach Haye getting Buckman's spare ball over there. So Alyssa will go first and try at her spare. And she just barely hit it, but that's all that matters. She's just got to hit it. Casey just going for the 7-pin there, and fortunately falls off there at the end. Not the ideal frame there, but bounce back in the next one. I'll be all good there. Miss Asher on 30, leaving up the 3-10. And Morley over there on 29, throwing her ball down the lane. Looks pretty good. And I was wrong as she leaves up the 4-7. Guess just a bad angle for me. Looks like we're waiting on the JV over on 29 as Morley gets back up there to throw her spare. Throwing straight at it. And that is a spare. Just missed a little left there for, forgot her name, but she missed the spare there on 30. Looked like she was trying to cut the 3-pin over into the 10-pin. Miss Taylor Mortis now on 29. Kind of fell off a little bit there, but still gets the strike, and that's all that matters. Now Allison Law will leave up the 6-10. Got cheers for everything down here. Layla throwing her ball on 29 as it goes down the lane. Made another ball change in that first frame. Looked really good in the first frame, but leaves up the 3-6 there. And Allison Law will, looks like she'll chop the 10-pin off of that. Thought she was going to make it. Layla looks like she's going to throw, or Jayoko looks like she's going to throw straight at the spare on 29, and she will get both of them. So maybe that was the smart decision. You can hook or throw straight at the 3-6, up to bowler's preference there. I always like to hook at it personally, but more likely to chop it that way. Another 6-10 on 30 there. As the freshman Kellen goes up there on 29, throws her ball down the lane. And another great shot from Kellen. She's really bowled good today. Score didn't reflect it in the first game, but, well, 203 is still pretty good. But the point is that she's bowled good today. All right, the last bowler for West, Miss Johnson, throwing down 30. Pink ball and pink hair. Fortunately leaves up the 10 pin there. All right, throwing at her spare. And that does not look like she's going to make it. Nope, missed that one to the left. All right, here we go into frame number 3 here. Miss Buckman will lead it off for us here on 30. Great shot, but leaves the 10 pin up. Alyssa Law on 29. And she'll leave up 5 pins? Yes, 5 pins.
What did I miss?
Not a whole lot. Not as good as a frame, that one, but Taylor struck, or sorry, Mortis struck, and the freshman also struck, Kellen.
That one's going into the gutter.
Yeah.
I mean, that one just kind of slipped out of her hand. That was Casey Buckman. Here is Alyssa Law on 29, and nice job picking up that spare. It wasn't an easy spare to pick up.
No. Not a very common one to leave either.
No. I think that's just the direct result of the way her ball moves.
Yeah.
There is Autumn Morley, who bowled a 155 her first time up. And down lane 30, she'll leave up the 1 and the 2. There is Kaylee Asher on 29 now for Belleville West. And she'll leave up just 1, and she doesn't like it. It's like, why didn't that one fall? Why?
You can do a lot right and not strike.
I like it when players have their names on the backs of their shirts. The only sport that happens in is this one and hockey.
Yeah.
Everybody else just has numbers.
Well, and it also depends on the team.
Yeah.
In this sport. I know Coach Haye isn't a huge fan of having names on the back, so that's why they don't do it.
Well, you can't, turn those back in and give them to the next group of girls that are
Right.
coming up. You got your name on the back of it, so that would cost money every year. I know some of these shirts kind of get recycled after years. I'm not sure about bowling, but I know that the rest of the sports do that.
Yeah, I think these are the same shirts that they wore last year, but
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I know the boys got new shirts this year.
Yes. Allison Law on 29 leaves up the 6 and the 10. And Taylor Mortis left up everything on the left-hand side. 1, 3, 6, 10. Right-hand side. Did I say left? I meant right.
Yeah, you did say left.
Yeah,
I knew what you meant.
my military right. Mortis over on 30. Kind of glad the girls get to play here one more time. Nice pickup with the tournament. 6 games left. 3 of them are here next week, and then the final 3 are at Belleville. Because I know sometimes it's kind of sad when you've bowled your last high school bowling match at your home bowling alley.
Right.
So it's nice that they get to come back at least one more time. Layla Jaoko.
It was a weird feeling last year.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
With a strike. So a strike, spare strike for Layla to start off with. She's trying to forget about that 151 that she threw in that first game. 'Cause that's definitely not normal for her when you're averaging 190. That's a little bit off.
Those games do happen, though.
Oh, yeah. The best athletes have off days.
Yep.
Kellen Stevens, back-to-back strikes to start off this second game. And how about a turkey to start? She went for that last time, too. She started off in that first game with back-to-back strikes and ended up with her only open frame in that first game was in the third. So nice to get that one out of the way. And there is Jillian Descamps trying to keep pace with everybody. So Casey Buckman with open frames in the second and the third. Those are the only open frames so far in the first 3 frames for Collinsville. Here's Haley Johnson for Belleville West on 29.
I don't know if you saw it, but that open frame for Casey in the second frame was another 7-10.
Yeah, no, I did not see that. I see the split up on the screen.
Yeah.
And 1 pin left for Haley Johnson to pick up on 29 before we move to the 4th frame. It's definitely different when there's no boys team here, man.
A lot quieter.
Yeah, it is. Lot less people behind us as well.
The boys get a little loud sometimes.
Yeah, that'll happen with boys.
Yeah.
They have more bass in their voice. All right, 4th frame coming up. 3rd frame in the books. Collinsville leads 247 to 170. And Casey Buckman will get things going over on 29. Bowled a 202 her first time up. And that's a nice approach, but thought for a second she was going to get level with a split, but thankfully the ones on the right fell down, just leaving the 4 and the 7.
It's not a 7-10.
Nope, it's not. Nice approach over there by Alyssa Law, just left up the 7 pin. Kaylee Asher was ready to give her a high five, left her hanging.
I saw that. I'd say maybe she just didn't see it, but she was right there.
I know. Here is Casey Buckman, and she'll pick up her spare. Law, you would think a righty would have a better time at this, but the way that ball moves on her, it spins, and then it spins away at the last second. And Alyssa Law wears glasses. Allison does not.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
They got the same hair color, though, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, you can definitely tell they're sisters.
Oh, yeah.
Here is Autumn Morley on 29 now for Collinsville. Nice approach and leaves up the 10. Kaylee Asher on 30 for the Maroons. Right on that head pin. And a split is the result. No one's giving her a high five on the way back. They will if she picks this up, though.
Definitely.
Here is Morley. Ball into the gutter, trying to go for that 10 pin. And Kaylee Asher back up to see what she can do here with this 6 and 7 split. And another field goal.
Yep. 3 points.
3 points that don't count.
Yeah. If only they did count.
I know. Taylor Morris, that would put a whole new twist on bowling.
Be more fun.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah.
There's another split.
Until you're like, how did you bowl a 305? Well, you know, I had a 299 and then I hit 2 field goals.
Yeah.
Nice little strike there by Allison Law. Yeah. Mortis is going to have her hands full over here.
I've seen somebody bowl at 315 before.
That's not possible.
That's obviously with handicap pins.
Okay. 10 pin and then the 2 and the 4. That's what remains for Taylor Mortis. It used to be a running joke, so I saw somebody bowl a 301.
Yeah.
301. He bowled a 300 and he won. That's where the 301, 301.
Well, if you're bowling a 300, I would hope that you would win.
Yeah, me too. I mean, the worst you can do is tie, right?
Right.
10 pin left up there for Des Camps.
Jacob Taylor had one earlier this year.
Yeah, he did at Belleville. Bel Air. Apparently he likes that bowling alley.
He likes bowling there. Most people do.
I am sure that everybody showed up for that sectional on Saturday, and then they had to cancel it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that really messed with some people that they had to reschedule everything, and I think that kind of threw everything off a little bit when they finally did resume yesterday.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a couple of teams stayed down there that night, too. So that would have been frustrating to stay the whole night.
Yep.
And then come back and not be able to bowl.
Yeah. Well, we went from Carterville to Mount Vernon.
Yeah.
So 2 totally different places. Here is Jaoko on 29 with a strike. Back-to-back strikes for Layla.
It's the third different ball that she has thrown today. So
maybe she's found the right one.
It looks like it so far.
Yeah, Haley Johnson picks up a strike over on 30. After 3 straight open frames for Johnson. I'm sure she's finally glad to shake that monkey off her back. Here is Kellen Stevens on 29 now for Collinsville. And how about 4 strikes in a row for the freshman?
quad.
Sometimes I don't even know what they're chanting.
The faux became a joke last year because of the Wendy's commercial, and when we would get 4 strikes in a row, we started calling it that. So that's where that comes from.
Okay. Makes a little bit more sense now.
I don't know where quad comes from.
Oh, yeah, the parents get in on these chants too.
Yeah.
There is Buckman on 30. How about a strike for Casey? She had a strike in the first, 2 open frames, then a spare, and now a strike. As Alyssa Law picks up a strike over on 29. When she gets a strike, she turns around. She has no expression on her face that she just got a strike.
Yeah.
Same expression if she just left herself a 7-10 split.
That's the way I try to be, but if I'm leaving a 7-10 split, I'm probably not going to be very happy about that.
And there we go. We got strikes flying everywhere around here. To Morley. There is Kaylee Asher on 29 now for Belleville West, and she mowed right down the middle of those pins.
That's a bit of a mess over there.
Yeah, it is. So back-to-back strikes for Collinsville to start off the 5th frame. Belleville West was trying to keep pace, but Asher's ball just kind of hitting the wrong spot. Here is Taylor Mortis on 30 now. And she'll leave up the 6 and the 10. Asher going for it on 29.
She's got a shot.
And there you go. That's a nice pickup. She has a smile on her face.
Yeah. I mean, she just picked a split, so
yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah. Now Allison Law on 29 for the Lady Maroons. And another strike. It felt kind of weird, and she had that look on her face like I didn't really think that was going to be a strike.
It looks the same on the scoreboard.
Sure does. Mortis picks up her spare. And now Jillian Descamps over on 29. Descamps lets it fly. Making that approach. Looks pretty good. Lift up the 10.
10 pin does not want to fall today.
No, it does not. Jaoko on 30 for Collinsville. Looking for a turkey for herself here.
It looks a little left.
And get over there. There. Ooh.
Another 10 pin.
10 pin on both both lanes. I think that was the parents that just did that.
I couldn't really hear. I just heard somebody say it.
Yeah, these headsets, man, they'll cut off some of that outside sound. The only thing you hear is what's coming through the microphone.
Right.
Layla will pick up her 10 pin. And now we're down to the anchor bowlers. Here is Haley Johnson on 29 for the Lady Maroons. She'll leave up the 6 and the 10. Kellen Stevens down lane 30. Get over there. Nicely done. 5 strikes in a row to start off this second game for the freshman, Kellen Stevens. Dun, dun. Kellen, a 224 is her high game of the year. The highest game of the year for Collinsville, Olivia Montgomery, who's not here tonight, with a 268. Highest game for Belleville West was thrown by Haley Johnson, the anchor bowler here tonight, with a 246. And Casey Buckman will leave up the 7, so we go from the 10 to the 7. Alyssa Law takes that big wide approach, and the 10-pin moved but did not go down.
She hit it.
Yep, sure did. Thought she might have hit it, and it slid over far enough where the pin catcher was going to get stuck. The pin setter, pin catcher, setter, pin grabber.
Same thing.
Yeah,
I don't know that it really matters what you call it.
Yeah, probably not. All right, got the 7 on one side, 10 on the other. Buckman picks up her 7. Let's see if Law can pick up her 10. Man, that wrist is just
I really
crazy.
don't know how she does it.
Neither do I. Ball must weigh like 1.5 pounds or something to do that.
Or she's got a strong wrist.
She's kind of tiny. I don't know about that. Could be. Who knows? Here's Autumn Morley on 29 now for the Kahawks. Missed the head pin, but somehow or another, 7 pins went down.
Better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, me too. Oh, that one's going in the gutter.
Yep.
I think Asher dropped that one. Grabs the old rosin bag. So that ball apparently did slip out of her fingers.
Rosin bag is your best friend.
Yeah.
Especially when it's humid.
Pitching and bowling.
Yeah.
Here's Morley looking for her spare. Left up the head pin.
Everything but the head pin.
Yep. Asher down 30 looking for a 10-pin spare.
Looks a little better.
Yeah, and she will leave the 10. Common theme here tonight. We are halfway through this match. 3 games scheduled, and we are through 1.5. Here is Taylor Mortis on 29 now for Collinsville. A lot of head pin on that one, too. Moved just a little bit too much, too soon.
Yeah, I think she's going to be making an adjustment with her feet going a little bit left. Ball just looks like it's hooking pretty early, so.
Allison Law down 30 for Belleville West, picks up a strike. That is a turkey for her. She gets one person to give her applause.
Better than 0.
I guess. Mortis trying to pick up the 2 pins she has left, down 29, and here is that try.
Looks pretty good.
Yep. Jillian Descamps on lane 30. Right on the head pin. I'm surprised she didn't get herself a split out of that.
I think she'll
7 pin went down late, though.
She'll take that over as
Oh,
split.
sure. Yeah, any day. Jaoko on 29. And it's on the way. Nice smooth ball, too, man. That thing hardly makes any sound at all when it hits the lane. Another strike. That is her 4th strike in the first 6 frames. So her game is definitely improved over the first game. She's already at a 119. Bowled a 151 in that first one.
I think she is in the right ball now.
Yeah. How many different bowling balls do you have?
Oh, my, that is a great question.
That many, huh?
Well.
Oh, Stevens missed out on 6 strikes in a row by the 10 pin staying up.
I have 6 in my car for league tonight.
Okay.
And probably 6 more at home.
Wow.
So there's a lot.
Yeah. How expensive are bowling balls these days?
So I think the most expensive one is right around $250.
Wow.
And shoes, expensive shoes are not much different.
Yeah, I guess so. Shoes are always expensive no matter what you're looking at. Golf shoes, tennis shoes, bowling shoes. 7 pin left up for Johnson. Collinsville has finished with their 6th frame. After that spare by Stevens ruined her 300 game. Johnson trying to pick up a spare. And we will head to the 7th. And just barely missed it on the right-hand side. So 7 frame coming up, 6 frames in the books. Collinsville up 545 to 392.
She's got a bit of an interesting game going there with, what, 5 opens and 1 strike?
Yeah, exactly. That's usually not what you see from your anchor bowler.
Right. Strikes and opens, as I like to call it.
Yeah. She was originally slated to be in the number 3 hole for Belleville West, but they did a last-minute switch up. Here's Casey Buckman to leave things off in the 7th frame for Collinsville on lane 30, and a double split. A little bit more of an opportunity to pick it up because you have more pins moving around, but still, I don't like to see that. Alyssa Law left herself a split over there, too. That's just a mess. Like the 1, the 3, the 9, and the 7.
Yep.
All over the place.
I don't think that's actually considered a split. I think when the head pin is there,
Yeah.
then it's not a split.
Well, here is Casey Buckman going for a 4-7, 6-10.
She got two.
And
Nope,
I
she
got
got
the one, yeah. I know what she was trying to do. She was trying to kick that 6-pin over
Yeah.
to take care of that 4 and the 7, but she just missed that 6-pin over on the right-hand side.
I thought she got the 6-pin too, but
Yeah.
the ball didn't get over there.
And the ball from Law goes right between the 7 and the 1. There is Autumn Morley now on 30 for Collinsville. That looks good. There we go. Asher over on 29 now for Belleville West. And another mess. Boy, lane 29 is leaving all the messes, aren't they? Looks like a set of teeth after somebody gets punched.
Yeah. You never thought about it that way before.
Yeah. There is Taylor Mortis down 30. Got the 9, 10, and the 4 and the 7 over there for Asher. Strike by Mortis. And we'll see how Asher wants to deal with this. My guess would be to go for the 4 and the 7.
That's probably what I would do, is just get 2. Or throw a field goal. No, she got 1. She got
Wow.
1.
7-pin wobbled but would not fall. Here is Jaoko on 30 for Collinsville.
I actually thought she didn't get the 4-pin either.
Yeah. Jaoko looking for back-to-back strikes. Good approach and left the 10. Every time I say good approach, the 10-pin stays
Yeah.
up. Maybe I should stop saying that. Here is Allison Law on 29 for Belleville West, and she'll have a split. Splits all around. You get a split. You get a split. We all get a split.
That's not normally what you want.
No. Splits are bad.
Very.
Splits are good in gymnastics, bad in bowling.
Strikes are good, though.
Yeah. And baseball and bowling. Unless you're the batter, then strikes are bad. Nice pickup there by Layla. Law has the 4-9 to deal with, and she's going to go right in. Well, I thought she was going to go right in between them. Got that 9 pin to fall, though. At least she got 1.
She didn't want those 3 extra points.
There is Stevens down 30. And after a spare in the 6, she'll pick the strike machine right back up. And 6 strikes in the first 7 frames for Kellen Stevens. And a little Jillian Descamps has herself a spare that is possible to pick up. Not the easiest in the world, but it is possible.
Baby split.
3-10. And here is that try. Not bad. There you go. That's exactly pretty much how you, that's textbook of how you pick that up. Got to hit that 3-pin on the left-hand side and kick it over to the 10. That's exactly what she did.
I don't know that I've ever seen anybody leave that over there on 27.
Yeah.
They didn't leave that. The rack dropped a bunch of pins, but
Yeah.
that would be a weird leave.
Sure would be. Here's Haley Johnson on 29. And she'll have the exact same thing, the 3-10.
4 of their bowlers had a split in that frame.
Yeah. Everyone except Alyssa Law.
And her spare wasn't easy either.
No. So we'll see if Johnson can pick up this split. And she does not. So that does it for frame number 7. We head to frame number 8. Collinsville up 628 to 458. All right, frame number 8, game number 2. Getting ready to get underway. Here's Casey Buckman on lane 29 for Collinsville. The multicolored ball down the way, and the 10-pin stays once again. It's kind of been the theme here today. Alyssa Law down 30 for Belleville West. Has that reverse spin, comes in and hits the head pin, but she'll have a sleeper to deal with. The 2 and the 8 and the 7. Buckman trying to pick up that 10-pin. I've had a lot of 10 pins left and a lot of 10 pins left behind, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
There's
that
another
one. Yeah. Law. This does not play very well into that spin, but she starts it off all the way over on the left-hand side. That's not bad.
She got 2.
Yeah. Autumn Morley on 29 for Collinsville. And how about a strike for Autumn? Rolled a 155 in the first game. Here is Kaylee Asher on 30. She uses like a different ball as well because normally she has that, what is it, the orange one that she usually throws down there? That one right there.
Yeah.
Well, it's multicolor, but when it's rolling, it looks orange.
Looks kind of yellow when it's sitting back here.
Yeah.
There's some pink in there, too.
Yeah, we've got some pink in there as well.
I think I actually have that ball at my house.
One of the other 6.
Yeah. There's probably more than 6, actually.
Taylor Mortis on 29 now. There you go. Mortis, back-to-back strikes for her, and back-to-back strikes for Morley and Mortis. And Asher will pick up her spare on 30. And now it's the sophomore, Layla Jaoko, on 29 for Collinsville.
I'm glad you know how to say her last name because I don't.
Yeah, well, I apparently was messing it up. Somebody came up to me at the boys basketball game at East St. Louis to tell me how to say it. And I was having my own problems at that basketball game, so I was not in a good frame of mind. And I just asked Coach Haye again once I got here today, how do I say that again?
Right.
Because I guess I was always saying Jayoko or something like that.
I just call her Layla.
Yeah.
That way I don't have to mess with it.
Yeah, well, in this business, you got to use last names.
Right.
How about another strike for Stevens? She now has 7 strikes in 8 frames. And the only blemish, if you can call it that, is a spare in the 6th. Allison Law on 30, trying to pick up her spare. It stays up there just long enough to get the 10 pin, but that's it. So Collinsville already finished with the 8th frame. We still have Jillian Descamps to go and Haley Johnson for Belleville West, which is kind of weird because there's nobody bowling here next to him.
Right.
Missed the head pin, did Descamps.
You do get done a little faster when you throw strikes.
Yeah, that's true. Collinsville had 4 of them. Casey Buckman had an open frame, couldn't pick up that 10 pin to start off the 8th. And then Morley, Mortis, Jaoko, and Stevens all with strikes. Not so fortunate for Belleville West. They've had a split in an open frame, a spare, another open frame, and now Descamp's trying to pick up the second spare of this frame. And she will. So now Haley Johnson will end frame number 8. Will she do it in 1 throw or will it take 2? That's the question that's going to be answered right now.
It looks like 2.
Yep, does. You are correct. That one did not even start off on the head pin. Started off left of the head pin the whole way. Something smells good.
I can't smell that.
Somebody's got some grub, and it's approaching 5 o'clock, so my stomach's like, hey, can we have some of that?
Some of that emos?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. And a nice spare pickup there by Johnson. And we will head to the 9th frame. Collinsville up handily, 7-17 to 7-13.
First spare of the game for Johnson.
Yeah. 1 strike, a spare. Everything else has been open. Here is Alyssa Law on 29 for Belleville West. Had a nice approach, but just left 3 up. Now Buckman will leave up the 5 pin.
It's not a
It's
10
wow. Oh, it just got knocked down by the pin setter.
Yeah, that's going to have to be stood back
Yep,
up.
sure is. Well, that'll put a delay in the action over here on 30.
It wasn't a 10 pin, though.
Nope, it
she
was
got
not.
the 10 pin out.
Yeah. Here is Alyssa Law on 29. for Belleville West while we wait for the people behind the scenes to put down the 5-pin over here on 30. My wife says if you hit the ball just right and the only pin that's left standing is the 5-pin, it was an excellent hit.
Sometimes.
That time, not so much. 5-pin wobbled. Asher down 29. Hits the head pin right on the button, and they all fall down. Day off tomorrow. Boys basketball for you on Friday from Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium as Belleville West comes to town. Had Belleville West last night, Belleville West today, Belleville West Friday. Girls basketball playing on the road tomorrow at East St. Louis. We do not have that game.
I thought you were going to say Belleville West.
No, did that last night.
Oh, that's right.
Collinsville won that one last night. Girls are on their way to winning here today. Belleville West is going to be finished with the 9th frame well before Casey Buckman gets to try this 5-pin. The way things are going right now.
Somebody must set a joke down there. They're all laughing pretty good.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have too much free time on your hands.
Yeah.
All right, there goes the pin sweeper. Now all we have to do is wait for the setter to bring us down a 5-pin. Well, they turned off the lane.
That was interesting.
Yeah. There it is. The
Well,
5-pin appears. Now Buckman can go if the girls can stop laughing long enough.
Got to have fun while you're at it.
Well, isn't sports supposed to be some kind of fun?
Yeah.
Fun, teachable moments, learn about being part of a team, learn how to win graciously and lose graciously. And in between all that, yes, have fun. Here is Descamps down 29 before Buckman trying to take care of this 5-pin, and the 10-pin stays up for Descamps. Buckman aiming at that 5-pin and got it. So now Collinsville can get back to work here. Autumn Morley gets herself ready to go on lane 30. I think Descamps is just taking her time trying to give Collinsville a chance to catch up here.
Still moving along pretty good here.
Yeah. Morley. Looks good. There you go. See, I didn't say nice approach. If I would have said nice approach, the 10-pin would have stayed up. Speaking of 10-pin, Descamps goes for it on 29 and barely got it.
All you got to do is hit it.
Yep. And now Taylor Mortis on 30. Looking for a turkey. Get over there. There you go. Turkey for Taylor Mortis. And now Haley Johnson on 29. And she'll leave up 3, all of them over on the right-hand side.
You did the O'Fallon match here, right?
I did.
I think that was the one where Mortis had a 260 or something. She had like the front first 7 strikes.
Yeah. Well, Kellen Stevens is having a whale of a game, and she still has a throw to go. Here is Jaoko with back-to-back strikes for her as Johnson's ball ends up going into the gutter. That'll end the 9th frame for Belleville West. And Kellen Stevens ready to end the 9th frame here for Collinsville as well. Stevens. Everybody kind of gets quiet, don't they? Round 20, get over there. And, left the 7-pin. It moved a touch, but not enough.
Threw pins at it, too, and it still didn't want to go.
Yeah. So a spare in the 6th and looking for a spare here in the 9th. And here's that try. She'll take care of that, no problem at all. One more frame left to go. Collinsville as we head into the 10th, up 836 to 585.
Pretty substantial lead there.
I think so. I'm guessing that one of the girls in the previous match back on December 12th won one of the head-to-head matches. That's how they got their 1 point.
Yeah.
Here's Casey Buckman on 29, picking up a strike to start off the 10th for Collinsville. Alyssa Law trying to match it over here on 30, and she does so. I think that's the first time I've seen her smile walking back.
She just kind of goes out there, throws her ball, and walks back.
Yep. Very businesslike. Casey Buckman on 29. She missing a ball?
I'm not sure. I think she might still be laughing at something. Or her ball's stuck. I don't know. No, the ball's stuck.
Okay. Now she's got to make a decision whether to, well, they're going to call down to the desk and say, hey, we got a ball stuck. I would really figure that Alyssa Law would go ahead and go while we're waiting. I think she feels like she needs the pressure of, what do I have to beat? So we're in a holding pattern again. Second time in back-to-back frames. Both of them happening to Casey Buckman. Buckman had that 5-pin get knocked down by the pin setter, and now she's got a lost ball. Casey Buckman, I think she's decided to go ahead and, well, she's testing out ball after ball over there and trying to see if she can find one that she likes, but she doesn't like any of them, so she's going to wait.
Do they have bowling balls stuck on both lanes?
I don't know. A little cheer over there for one of the JV Lady Kahawks for getting a strike, as they are just about finished up with game number 2 over there. JV team lost their first match, but they only have 3 girls playing against 5.
All right, we get a ball.
Here is Alyssa Law. And Law looking for back-to-back strikes in the 10th. Will have to settle for 1 pin being left. Now Casey Buckman will try for back-to-back strikes in her 10th frame. And never hit the head pin. One more throw for each. Buckman and Law. Law will go first. She has the 2-pin to deal with. All the way over. It's going to make it over there just in time, though, isn't it?
I don't know how that stayed on the lane.
I don't either. Buckman has the 1-2-4 to deal with. And she'll leave up the final pin. And
I believe they tied. They did.
146 to 146. It's a wash. Here is Kaylee Asher on 30 now for Belleville West. She'll have a small split to deal with, while Autumn Morley gets ready to throw down 29 here for Collinsville. And she'll also have 2, but at least they're together. 4 and the 7. I would take that any day over the 5 and the 10.
Yeah, it's not a split.
Asher first. She'll pick up 1. And Asher will end up with a 126. Far off of her first total of a 153. Morley, she'll better her 155 and end up with one more throw, right now sitting at 180. Meanwhile, Allison Law throws, and she's got a little bit of a mess to clean up as well. Not as bad as some of the other messes that we've seen here today.
Not the easiest, though.
No. I would imagine not. Throw the ball right in between the 4 and the 5, right? Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, theoretically, that'll take out the 7 pin, too.
Here is Morley's final throw here in game 2, and she didn't like that one. Allison Law does exactly that.
Yep.
Splits the 4 and the 5, and it took care of the 7 along the way. That was nice. Nicely done there. Gives herself one more ball. Morley ended up with a 183. Better than her 155, and definitely enough to beat the 126 by Asher. Here is Taylor Mortis on 29. A little too much head pin, and she also leaves a little split over there on the right-hand side. Final throw here in game number 2 for Allison Law, and she'll leave up the 7 pin. And Allison will end up with a 149 after starting off for that first game with a 168. So Mortis already has that 149 beat. Here is Taylor Mortis trying to pick up her spare on 29. And she will not. She'll leave the 10. So Mortis will end up with a 195, or excuse me, a 196, and beat her first score by 4 pins. Here is Jillian Descamps, who will leave up the 10 pin. While Layla Jaoko readies herself over on 29, already past her 151 of the first game. And got a little bit too much head pin, and 10 pin fell last. 6 pin remains. Descamps trying to pick up her 10 pin.
I think she missed that left.
Yep, barely. So Descamps will end up with a 157, a lot better than her 117 that she bowled in the first game. But she is not going to catch Jaoko, who already has a 206, trying to pick up this last pin, the 6 pin, give herself one more throw. She does. Here is Haley Johnson, the anchor bowler for Belleville West on 30. Picks up a strike.
She got 100. She broke 100.
Yeah, that was a tough task for her after all those open frames. 1 strike, 1 spare, and everything else has been open until that strike right there. Here is Joko, her final throw on game number 2, and she will leave up the 7 pin. So Layla will end up with a 217, much better than the 151.
That's more like it.
Yeah, sure is. Haley Johnson, back-to-back strikes in the 10th. She saved the best for last, right?
Yeah. Just needs a little bit more before that.
Yeah. All right, Kellen Stevens getting ready to go on 29. Everything's a strike except for the 6th and 9th. There you go. Starts off the 10th in fine fashion. Last throw here for Haley Johnson. And she'll leave up 1 and end up with a 121. Not bad considering she just broke 100 at the beginning of that 10th frame. And Kellen Stevens having a fantastic game here.
258 if she strikes out, I believe.
Yeah. Stevens down 29. A little too much head pin there, so she will not get the 258. Still, I wouldn't complain.
I guess I should keep my mouth shut next time.
I don't believe in an announcer jinx. Those are old wives' tales. And here comes the final throw of game number 2 for Stevens, and that's their only open frame was the 10th, and she ends up with a 247. Still not bad at all. Better than her 203, and Collinsville wins 4 of the 5 head-to-head matches with an open wash between Buckman and Law. The first bowlers, both of them bowled a 146. All right, time for some more commercials, and then we'll be back with the final game of the night, and we'll do that here in just a moment on the Kahok Sports Network.
Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville produces their own spirits and beer on site right at the restaurant. Pair that with some of the most unique menu items around the entire metro area, and you can see why they are such a hit. They can handle you and your family, or they can handle you and your group. Throw in the occasional live entertainment, and you can see why Old Herald Brewery and Distillery is a must-stop destination in Collinsville. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery, 115 East Clay Street in Collinsville, 618-855-8027, or online at oldheraldbrewing.com. Looking to buy a new home or sell your current home? Trust the Blaylock Group of eXp Realty with all of your real estate needs. The real estate market is hot right now, and you can trust the years of experience the Blaylock Group brings to the table. The Blaylock Group can help you find your dream home, or they can help you get top dollar for your current home. Give Peyton or Emily Blaylock a call today at the Blaylock Group of eXp Realty, 618-780-4622. That's 618-780-4622. The Blaylock Group of eXp Realty. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Lottie's Cafe offers food, cocktails, and gaming in a great atmosphere highlighted by fast and friendly service. Lottie's Cafe also offers a unique menu that features soups and salads, sandwiches and paninis, pizza and flatbreads, appetizers and desserts, as well as breakfast. That's right, we said breakfast. Unique breakfast items such as a breakfast stromboli, a breakfast BLT, and breakfast burritos. Lottie's also offers creative cocktails, a wine bar, the coldest beer around, and a video gaming area for those 21 and older. And don't forget the Lottie's Cafe gift certificates. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Check them out online at lottiescafe.com, on Facebook, or in person in the Strip next to the Walmart Neighborhood Market. Or call Lottie's Cafe at 618-223-8256. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Chapman Trucking, LLC. Chapman Trucking is a local Collinsville business owned and operated by 1994 Collinsville graduate Christy Chapman. With over 10 years of experience, Chapman Trucking LLC can take care of all of the heavy lifting when it comes to hauling aggregate materials such as sand, driveway rock, dirt, boulders, and more. That includes getting your heavy work equipment to your work site where it needs to be. Give Christy a call for a free estimate at Chapman Trucking LLC, 618-960-9346, or online at chapmantruckingllc.net.
Back here once again at Camelot Bowl. Todd Duke and Brandon Campbell along with you. Collinsville won that second match, 9.5 points to 0.5 points for Belleville West. And since my scoreboard will not do 0.5 points, we went ahead and gave Belleville West a point. So Collinsville on my scoreboard leads 19-1 when actually it is 19.5 to a half. So we'll just kind of leave it at that. And JV ended up losing too. They're not going to have a win tonight, I would imagine, because they only have 3 bowlers, while Belleville West has 5. So the JV girls are just kind of playing out the string here. This is their final match of the year. So they're just here to have some fun, gain some experience, and learn some things. So that's what we got going on there. All right, Brandon's about out of here. So before he gets out of here, I'm going to let him have control of the microphone once again while I go visit the little boys' room, and I'll be back in a moment. Take it away, sir.
Split over there on 29 for Stevens, the 6-7-10. And Johnson here on 30. Ball did not quite hook enough and leaves the 2-8-10. Looks like she's throwing an exotic gem at the moment, I believe. Oh, really good shot over there for Stevens. Almost picked that, but just take the 2. Johnson will not do the same as she misses the 2 to the left. And we go into the second frame. Buckman will lead things off on lane 30. Another ball change for her. Leaving up just the 4-pin. Alyssa Law on 29. Leaving the 6-pin. Although she's not a left-hander, that's basically a left-hander's 4-pin. All right, she'll throw out her spare over there on 29 before Buckman gets up. And she missed it to the left. Buckman now has her spare ball. And we'll throw at the 4-pin. That looks pretty good. Yep, that's a spare. Asher over there on 29, getting ready to throw her ball. Pretty much right down the 10 board. Leaving up the 4-7. Morley on 30. Looks pretty good. Just stuffing the 9-pin there. Throw at the spare over there on 29 from Miss Asher. Misses that one to the right. So after a spare, she'll have an open frame there. And Morley picks up the 9-pin. So she will have 2 spares through the first 2 frames. Getting some coaching advice from Coach Haye here for Mortis throws. It's got a hook a little bit. That's pretty good. Sounds like she missed her target, but she still got the strike. That's all that matters. Another open on there over there on 29 for one of the Laws. I believe that was Allison Law. It's left, but still strikes nonetheless for Jay Oko. I hope I'm saying that right. Another 9-pin on 29 for Belleville West. So we go to the last bowler here for Collinsville, Miss Stevens. Had 247 her last game. And that was a really good shot there, another strike for her. Now as we wait for Belleville West to finish up here, and we'll switch lanes and do it all again. We wait on the JV, then we will get the delivery on 29. As she will pick up her spare on 29, and we go to the last bowler for Belleville West.
Half brunette, half pink hair,
Yep.
Haley Johnson.
Yep.
So Collinsville up 19.5 to a half. But my scoreboard doesn't do half, so I have it 19-1. Stay with that.
She was throwing a pink ball earlier.
Yeah.
Matching her hair.
Maybe she needs to go back to that pink ball.
I don't know.
Well, she had an open frame in the first and then picked up a strike, so things are looking a little better. We enter the third frame. Collinsville down by a pin, 117 to 116. As Alyssa Law misses a little bit off to the right, while Casey Buckman rolls it down 29. We're in the final game of 3.
Another 10 pin for her.
Unless they have a major collapse, Collinsville is going to win. I don't even think if they had a major collapse they would lose.
No, I think they got a pretty good lead here.
Yeah. 9 out of the first 10 head-to-head matches, Collinsville won. A tie on the other one. Casey Buckman and Alyssa Law, who are throwing right now, tied each other in that last game, 146 each. Picking up her spare was Law. Buckman trying to pick up that 10 pin, and she will. And once again, they're pretty even. 38-38, how about that? Here is Kaylee Asher now, number 2 bowler for Belleville West. Down 30. She drops that ball about a foot over the line and left herself a bit of ugliness.
Just a little.
Yeah. Meanwhile, here is Autumn Morley, down 29. There you go. Every time Coach Haye says hit it, it does.
He knows what he's doing over there.
Yeah. That's coaching for you, man. Hit it. Strike. There you go.
Yep.
That one's going to be a little off, and just the 7 pin will fall for Kaylee Asher. Taylor Mortis, 192 and a 196 is what she bowled in her first 2. That's consistency right there. And Mortis down 29. Leaves the 5. Allison Law, 168 and a 149 in her first 2. Down lane 30 and almost left a split, but got everything to fall down except for the 4. Or is that the 8?
It's the 4.
Okay. See, I'm second guessing myself again. Taylor Mortis. Each girl with a pin left. Taylor trying to pick up that 5 pin, and she will. And the 4 pin awaits Law.
Looks like she'll make
and
it too.
She will as well. Kahawks, by virtue of that Autumn Morley strike, have leaped out front by 30. Here is Alayla Jaoko on 29 for Collinsville. It's always cold in this place. Yeah, it didn't hit it. Wrong person said hit it. Here's Des Camps down 30. Coach Haye didn't say it. It's not going to fall. Leaves up everything on the left-hand side. 1, 2, 4, 7. Layla just has the 9 pin to deal with. And here is that effort. Whew.
It was close.
Yeah, it was.
Closer than it should have been, probably.
Des Camps knows what she has to do. Let's see if she can do it. Turn it over there. Nicely done. Kellen Stevens, a 247 in her last go-around. Had a lot of strikes and a couple of spares, and then that open frame on the last ball kind of did her in there. Here's Haley Johnson on 30. Nice hit, but 1 pin left behind. Stevens had an open frame and a split in the first, but then back-to-back strikes in the second and the third. Another good freshman, man. Last year, of course, Jaoko made her debut, and she had a very good freshman year, and Kellen Stevens having a pretty stellar freshman year herself.
Being in the anchor position as a freshman, you're probably doing something right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad to see they have fun.
I'm telling you, they got to cheer for everything.
Yeah, they do. Here's Alyssa Law. Get the fourth frame started. Collinsville up 224 to 181 now, and Law throws a gutter ball on her first one here in the fourth. Here is Casey Buckman trying not to follow that suit. And Casey will leave herself a little bit of a mess, but at least there's only 3 pins left instead of all 10. And Alyssa Law trying to pick up the 10-pin spare here.
It looks closer.
Yeah, it does. And got everything to fall but the 10-pin. Here is Buckman's try on lane 30. We've seen this one before. Got to split that 4 and that 5, but only the 5 will fall for Casey. So to the number 2 bowler as we go. Autumn Morley for Collinsville on lane 30. She'll give way for Kaylee Asher, though, on lane 29 first.
Go ahead and watch this frame, and then I'm going to have to head out.
All right. And Asher picks up a strike. Morley trying to keep pace over here on 30. That looks good. Oh, looked a lot better than what it ended up. Man, oh, man. Allison Law on 29 for the Maroons. And right down the middle, all 10 pins fall. Morley has a little bit more work to do here.
This is makeable.
Yeah.
You don't see it made very often, but.
Trying for the 3 on the right and hoping for a little kick action there, but only 2 of them would fall. So that didn't end up the way she wanted it to. Here is Jillian Descamps now on 29 for Belleville West. And right down the middle, leaves up the 6 and the 10. Taylor Mortis now on 30 for Collinsville. That one looks all right, and couldn't get that pin to slide over into that 6 pin and knock it into the 10, and went right in front of it instead.
I thought I was going to get one of them, and then it went in front of it.
Kind of did that weird slide. So each bowler with the 6-10. Descamps, hers first, and she'll get the 6, leave the 10. Mortis wants the ball that's going to pick up the 6-10. First, Haley Johnson down 29 for Belleville West, leaves up the 6. Well, we've had a lot of 6 and a lot of 10s left up here. Mortis trying to take care of both of those pins on one throw. Here it is. And she will. Haley Johnson, her final throw here in frame number 4. And she'll miss that 6 pin. Not very happy about it either.
No, it didn't look like it.
No. Here is Layla Jaoko on 30 for Collinsville.
It's a little left.
A lot of head pin, and what do you know? A 6 and a 10 left.
But it's not a split.
Nope. Maroons are finished with their 4th frame with a 255. Collinsville already out front with a 287 before Layla throws her final ball, and Kellen Stevens hasn't even gone yet. Here is the attempt down 30, and a spare there for Layla. Kellen Stevens will close out the 4th frame. Looking for a turkey. I believe that was the chant.
I did not hear it.
There you go.
Yep.
Nicely done. Turkey there for Kellen. And after 4 frames in the book, Collinsville up 319 to 255. Thanks for hanging out, man. We appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you
We'll
for having me.
do this a lot more next year, man. You can show up for any ones you want.
Yep.
All right, man. Thanks. Enjoy
Thank you
yourself
for having
over
me.
at Bel Air Bowl.
Oh, I'll try. It's
I'm
always
sure
fun
you
time.
will, man. I'm sure you will. All right, that is Brandon Campbell. We thank him for visiting with us here tonight and having a little bit of fun talking some bowling. It's nice to have a little bit of help over here for a change. Instead of just hearing me ramble on, you get to hear 2 of us ramble on. And Casey Buckman with a strike over on 29 to start the fifth frame off. Here is Alyssa Law, and she does the same thing. Need to move my headset back over here to the side of the table that Coach Haye is going to be on for the post-game interview. How about a strike as well for Autumn? Wires everywhere, man. It's the one thing about this job. Wires everywhere. And when it's cold outside, I can't not leave my bag in my car because there is nothing worse to work with than cold, uncooperative wires. All right, got that part taken care of. Now I gotta get myself back up on my perch here. All right, midway through frame number 5. Collinsville very much in control of this match. Leading 19.5 to a half. I know the scoreboard says 19-1, but my scoreboard doesn't operate with halves. Here's Taylor Mortis trying to pick up the 6 pin, over on 29. She will. And Allison Law gets ready to go for her first throw in frame number 5 over here on 30. And she hits that pin on the head pin on the left-hand side and just leaves up the 6. 6 pin and the 10 pin has been left up a lot here tonight. Layla Jaoko on 29 now for Collinsville. Layla. Nice approach. Gets them all to fall. And after back-to-back strikes to start, followed back-to-back spares, another strike for Layla. Here's Allison Law trying to pick up that 6 pin, and she will. Kellen Stevens having a pretty good night. Looking for 4 in a row here. Down 29. And she'll miss the head pin. Leaves up the 1, 2, and the 4, and then the 10 pin stuck back in that right corner. Here's Jillian Descamps on 30. Nice approach as well. And the 5 pin wobbled but would not fall down. So Stevens has some work. Descamps has the 5 pin waiting for her on lane 30, and she'll go first. Descamps down 30. Good. Stevens has a mess to deal with on 29, and here she goes, and that is going to be the 1, 2, 4, but the 10 pin remains. Here is Haley Johnson now on 30, the final bowler here in frame number 5. And once again, the 6 and the 10 stay up. Been a lot of that here tonight. What are you doing over there? Haley Johnson, 6 and the 10, and it goes into the gutter. I just got through setting up my headphones over there, and then Coach Haye comes over here and ruins the whole thing. All in an effort to have a seat. All right, 5 frames in the books here in the final game of the night. Collinsville up 4-0-2 to 323. Back to the top of the order we go. Here is Alyssa Law over on 29 for Belleville West. Missed the head pin. Casey Buckman on 30. Does not miss the head pin and picks up a strike. Back-to-back strikes for Casey Buckman. A mess to clean up over there for Alyssa Law. And here is that try. She'll hit the head pin this time and leave up one. That's not a bad leave there, considering everything that was down there. Here is Autumn Morley now for Collinsville on lane 30. And she'll leave up the 10 pin. 10 pins are having a hard time going down here tonight, folks. Kaylee Asher on 29 now for the Lady Maroons. And that time the 10 pin falls. It was the last pin to fall, but it did go down. Here is Morley, who Asher is competing head-to-head against. Morley will not keep that ball up. And she'll end up with an open frame. Allison Law on 29, but first it'll be Taylor Mortis on lane 30 for the Lady Kahawks. Mortis gets that one in there and leaves up the 10 pin. Otherwise, not a bad hit. Allison Law on 29. Well, and how about a 6 and a 10? We're off tomorrow. We have boys basketball action for you coming up on Friday against Belleville West at home. Like I said, I haven't done a boys basketball game since January 5th. I was supposed to do one on the 12th, but that's the one that got moved. And I already had a game scheduled that night for the girls, so we just stuck with that, and we let old Steven Stock and Belleville East and their live stream take care of that one for you. Law could not get that one to fall. And Descamps down 29. Meanwhile, Layla Jaoko only got 3 pins down over on 30. And leaves up the 10. And unable to pick up a spare over there was Descamps. Here is Kellen Stevens again. Stevens down 30. Stevens has the 6 pin. What a surprise. And after 6 frames in the books, Collinsville up 487 to 402. Frame number 7 getting underway. Here is Casey Buckman over on 29 for Collinsville. Leaves 1. At least it's not the 6 or the 10, right? Alyssa Law down 30. Comes in from the left side, picks up all of them. And a nice job there by Casey Buckman. Down 30 for Asher, and she'll leave up, you guessed it, the 6 and the 10. And here is, a sleeper left behind there by Morley. And Asher going for the 6 and the 10 will only get the 10. Yeah, there you go. That's the way you pick up one of those sleepers. Here is Allison Wall down 30 now for Belleville West. Yeah, how about a strike by Taylor Mortis, and then the ball just rolls into the gutter there for Law. And Jalco leaves up the 6 and the 10. Can't get away from these 6 and these 10s. Here is Descamps down 30, and she'll leave up 1 pin as well. Strikes are hard to come by here in this final game. Arms are getting kind of tired. Here is Jaoko on 29, trying to pick up her 6 and her 10, and she'll miss. Not been the greatest of nights for Layla. She picked it up, though, in that second game with a 217. Average is 190, so she was off on the first one with a 151, but picked it up on the second one with that 217. That one goes into the gutter for Descamps as well. Here is Kellen Stevens, who has had a very good night. And she'll leave a small split down there. Haley Johnson, last bowler here for Belleville West in the 7th. Stevens the last one in the 7th for Collinsville. And she'll leave up 1 as well. So Stevens has the 9 and the 10 left. And her attempt down 29 is on the way. Nicely done. You need to do exactly that, man. Throw it right in between the 2 pins. And another nice job over there by Haley Johnson as that ball started off left, came back right, or started off, left, and then started off right, came back left. I'll get it right there. All right, 7 frames in the books. Collinsville up 572 to 464. We're down to the final 3 games of the final head-to-head match of the year for both of these teams, and both of these teams will resume the Southwestern Conference Tournament. 3 games here Monday, and that one would not fall. That 7-pin moved a little bit, and then it gets knocked down, so we're going to have to wait for the guys to get back there and set it back up again. Meanwhile, Alyssa Law on 29 picks up a strike. Got to get on the phone and get with the right people here. Meanwhile, Kaylee Asher is going to go on 29 for Belleville West. Not only do you have to wait for the pin, there you go, there's the announcement to put the 7 on 30. Not only do you have to wait for that to happen, you also have to change the score up on the scoreboard here. Law down 29 as Belleville West just continues to go. And it seems to only happen to Casey Buckman. She had that happen, then her ball got lost. That was a little earlier. Now they got an actual person down there to knock all the pins down and set the 7-pin up. Allison Law down 29 for Belleville West. She'll pick up home. That's a nice spare pickup there. She liked it. She came back with a big smile on her face. And now Casey Buckman will go for the 7-pin. Casey does so. Jillian Descamps, the number 4 bowler for Belleville West, will bowl down 29 before Autumn Morley, the second bowler for Collinsville, can get up there. And Descamps makes it go a little quicker with a strike. That'll leave it up to Haley Johnson, the anchor bowler for Belleville West. Here is Morley. Nice approach, and finally, when I said that, the 10-pin didn't stay. Haley Johnson down 29. And leaves up the 6 and the 10. That has been familiar. Taylor Mortis on 30 now for Collinsville. And that one looks good, but the 7-pin stays. Johnson trying to pick up her 6 and her 10 over on 29. And she will. And the 8th frame over now for Belleville West. Collinsville still has to get one here for Mortis, and then we still have Jaoko and Stevens left to go. Here is Mortis. And she'll take care of that 7-pin, no problem. Jaoko. Readies herself on 30. It's on the way. And the 10-pin stays up again. If it's not the 6 or the 10, it's both. Layla trying to pick up that 10. And she will miss it. So Kellen Stevens due up next, and that'll end the 8th frame. Kellen, the freshman. A little bit off here in this 3rd and final game of the night, which is to be expected, man, after you throw the ball down the alley about 60 times. A little rough, but she picked up a strike there. And after 8 frames in the book, Collinsville still up 660 to 532. 9th frame is upon us. We'll switch sides. Collinsville will head over to 29. Belleville West will head over here to 30. Here is Casey Buckman down 29. How about a strike? 9th frame is underway. Alyssa Law trying to keep pace. Over on 30. And she will leave up 4. And you've had the headphones on for almost 3 hours, man. I tell you what, these things start to give you a little pressure in the old earlobe. Here is Autumn Morley now down 29 for Collinsville. And can't get the 7 to fall. Law has the 3-5-6-9 to deal with on 30. And she'll get 2 of the 4. Morley just has the 7-pin left over on lane 29. On the way, and a miss. Kaylee Asher now on 30 for Belleville West. How about a strike for young Miss Asher? She is a junior with a 153 in her first game, fell off to a 126 in her second game. Meanwhile, Taylor Mortis staying steady, 192 and 196. Down 29 it goes. And how about a strike? Allison Law on lane 30 for Belleville West. She'll take a strike as well. Now we got some strikes falling. Jaoko on 29. Layla was a little well off on that one, missed the head pin entirely. Here is Jillian Descamps on 30. Looking for that ball with a little bit of movement. Mows down the left side, leaves up the 3, 6, and the 10. Layla, ready to go. Got a sleeper in there as well. Got that 1 in the 5 after missing the head pin. And that one looks good, and it is. Layla will pick up a spare. Descamp's down 30. Looking for a spare of her own, but she's going to be off to the left and miss the pin. We're down to the anchor bowlers on both sides. First up, Kellen Stevens over here on 29 for Collinsville. Looking for back-to-back strikes. Can't find the head pin either. Haley Johnson on 30. Also missed the head pin. Matter of fact, both young ladies on the anchor side have left up the exact same thing. The 1, the 2, and the 8. Stevens will go for hers first. And she'll pick hers up. And we'll see if Haley Johnson can match. Johnson threw that one off just a little bit, but the result is the same. We head to the 10th and final frame of the day. Collinsville up 748 to 625. Alyssa Law down 29, 10th frame underway. She'll do so with a strike. Casey Buckman trying to keep pace. And Casey will also start off with a strike. So each of the first bowlers for either team will have 2 extras. Law will go first. Alyssa down 29. Will leave up the 7. Buckman down 30. Will leave up the 5. So each bowler trying to pick up a spare to end their night. Alyssa Law up first on 29. And she does. And now Buckman, down 30, will also pick up her spare, but it'll be Buckman who will win the head-to-head match. These two ladies tied. 190 for Buckman. And for Law, a 147. These two ladies tied with a 146 each in their last go-round. And now to the number 2 bowlers. Here is Autumn Morley for Collinsville on 30. Roll it on in there. And there you go. All of them went down eventually. Kaylee Asher on 29. Close game between these two. And a split. That is not good for Asher. Morley has a chance to widen her lead. Actually, right now, Morley trails by 4 pins. So Autumn will go first over here on lane 30. And she'll pick up back-to-back strikes. Asher trying to pick up a spare to get one more throw. She will pick up just the 2 and leave the 1. And Asher will end up with a 157. And with that strike, Morley just has a 159, so already a head-to-head win there, and she can add to it here. And the final throw for Morley of the night. We'll get in there and take out 8 of the 10. And for Morley, she will end up with a 167. 10 pins better than Asher, and Allison Law leaves up 3, missed the head pin. So Law leaves up the 1, the 5, and the 6. And her head-to-head matchup is with Taylor Mortis. Mortis down lane 30 with her first throw here in the 10th. And how about a strike? There is Allison Law trying to pick up her spare, and she will not. So that'll end the night for Allison with a 134. Mortis already has that beat with a 175 and a couple more throws left to go. Here is Jillian Descamps, down 29 now for Belleville West. She'll leave up 2, got herself a small little split on the right-hand side. Here is Mortis. And Mortis will leave up 3. And try to pick those up with one final throw of the night. Descamps over on 29. Has the 3 and the 10. And tries her best to slide that 3 over into the 10. Slid right in front of it, though. Wouldn't knock it down. So Descamps will end up with a 129. And Mortis already has that beat. And here comes Taylor's final throw. She'll pick up a spare. And end up with a 192. Here is Haley Johnson. She'll leave up 1 over on lane 29 while Layla Jaoko gets ready to throw her first here in the 10th down lane 30. Just barely got that head pin. 5 down, 5 still up. Taylor Mortis has been very consistent. 192, 196, 192. Layla trying to pick up the 5 pins left down there to have one more throw here in this final game of the night. Meanwhile, there's a dead pin just laying down there on 29. So I think that kind of threw Layla off there for a minute. She'll go back up there and ready herself once again. I don't know how that pin fell. I wasn't watching. And just 2 there for Layla. And her night will come to a close with a 154 in this 3rd and final game. But she does beat the head-to-head of the 129 by Descamps. Here is Kellen Stevens. Stevens, her first ball in the 10th. In there for a strike. So Haley Johnson's just kind of waiting for something to happen on 29. I think the lights just went off, so somebody's going to go take care of that. And now Kellen Stevens ready for her second throw down 30. And how about another strike? Oh, left up the 4 pin. All right, I got the pin situation taken care of over on 29. Lane turned back on, so now Haley Johnson will still have one more throw at the very least. She will pick that up, and she'll have one more throw, and then that will be it. Here comes the final throw of the night for Stevens. And Stevens will pick up a spare. And in the night with a 191. Very good night for Kellen Stevens. And she will definitely beat the head-to-head of Haley Johnson. So the only blemish on the Collinsville record tonight was the tie between Buckman and Law in the second game. And a 155 ends up being it for Haley Johnson. Collinsville wins the team match 894 to 722. And that's going to do it for the night. Thank you very much there, Mr. Campbell. Appreciate it. Oh, boy. And now it's time to take you into the post-game show, brought to you tonight by Chiropractic Works in Collinsville, owned and operated by Dr. Chris McCluskey. He and his crew are focused on helping as many people as possible live high-quality lives all through chiropractic care and wellness. Visit Dr. McCluskey at Chiropractic Works in Collinsville at 410 Regency Center, just off of the Beltline Road in Collinsville. Give them a call at 618-343-3602 or online at chiropracticworkscollinsville.com. Kahawks win here tonight. Post-game show comes your way next on the Kahawk Sports Network.
The Ortho Gold TRT tissue regeneration machine is revolutionary new technology. It's known as a shockwave machine. In the hospital setting, it's lithotripsy. The machine looks sort of like an ultrasound head, but it's much different technology. It drives sound waves into tissue at 3,500 miles an hour. It's a 3 to 5 minute non-invasive treatment. This is revolutionary technology. It's great for acute, which means, injured tissue. New injuries per se, also chronic conditions. We have many people who have canceled knee replacements and shoulder replacements and treated lots of plantar fasciitis, foot, ankle problems. Overall, the Ortho Gold TRT soft wave machine is revolutionary technology. We've been very excited to bring it to our practice, and we've already helped a tremendous amount of people with it, and we're looking forward to helping a lot more.
Lakeside Roofing in Collinsville. Let the professionals at Lakeside Roofing protect your most important investment, your home or business. Have the elements taken a toll on your roof system? Notice a leaking roof? Maybe it's time for a free roof inspection. Regular maintenance can extend the life of your roofing system by 10 years or more. Lakeside Roofing is your winning team for commercial and residential roofing systems. Lakeside All-Star professionals have installed, repaired, and maintained hundreds of roofs on both sides of the river. Call Lakeside Roofing today at 618-344-2800 in Collinsville or 314-241-5253 or online at lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience, choose Lakeside. First National Bank of Waterloo, with over 100 years serving the Metro East. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo at their Maryville or Collinsville locations for all of your banking, mortgage, and lending needs. Why? Super low closing costs, low construction loan rates, and they do so much to support our local communities. When you need a loan, call the Collinsville team at First National Bank of Waterloo at 618-345-1121 or visit their Maryville or Collinsville locations or online at fnbwaterloo.bank. First National Bank of Waterloo, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
My name is Rayshawn Taylor, collegiate basketball player at SIUE. At the end of January, I had an ACL injury. I've been searching for ways to come back as best as I can after the construction. Dr. Chris introduced me to the soft wave machine. I'm gonna be honest, at first I was kind of scared because I didn't want it to shock me and hurt me too bad. And I had heard something about it, and I did my research on it, and it turns out it didn't actually hurt. It just was a good pain. It's just finding where it hurts to promote the healing, and that's exactly what it did. I've actually had this surgery before. This time I feel like I'm back on my feet quicker, much faster. I'm much stronger than I was up to this point last time. And honestly, I feel like I could play right now. I'm excited to get back on the court. Thankful that Dr. Chris introduced me to this.
And once again, we welcome you back into the Chiropractic Works post-game show here on the Kahok Sports Network. Collinsville wins this one here tonight. They took all 3 team games, and they took 39 of the 40 head-to-head games. The only blemish was the tie between Casey Buckman and Alyssa Law in game number 2. But if that's all you got to complain about, not a bad night there, eh, Coach?
No, not bad at all.
Yeah, that is Coach Sean Haye, the head coach of the girls varsity bowling program. So let's talk about, this is the back-to-back years, we're going to talk about a stellar performance from a freshman. Last year, it was Layla Jaoko. This year, Kellen Stevens. I'm very impressed.
She's worked. But you didn't see her working hard last year. We saw her making a lot of changes. A lot of times, a freshman will come in and they'll feel a lot of that pressure, like they have to perform. But the freshmen who come in and just go, you know what, I'm just going to do my thing. If their thing is good enough, they're fine.
Yeah.
And every freshman will go through just a little spell where they'll be struggling a little bit because of that pressure, but she has learned how to shake that off. She's trusting her game now. She's bowling great.
Yeah, she had 5 straight strikes to start off that second game and then got a spare, rattled off a bunch of more strikes, got a spare, and the only real blemish was that missed pin on the 10th frame, and 247 is nothing to be ashamed of.
No, not at all. No, she's coming a long way. I mean, she came in basically with 1 ball and a lot of talent, and so she's been able to expand her arsenal a little bit and gives her a little bit more room. She's doing great.
Yeah, Layla had a little bit of an off night. She had a 151, sandwiched in between that, a 257 and then a 154, and you can just tell she just wasn't feeling it tonight.
Yeah, she's not. I mean, there's been illness going around, and I don't know if she's got a little bit of the bug or not, but and plus you never know with what's going on at school. You know, these are
teenagers.
They're student athletes, and so you know the classes. This is about the time where tests start showing up again, and so a lot of times these kids are worried about a lot of that stuff too.
Yeah, Taylor Mortis misses consistency, 192, 196, 192.
Definitely her most consistent outing, and she was working the last game. She was trying out, basically doing a new ball and trying to get used to it. And it's always a risk. A lot of times you score pretty well with a new ball, but sometimes you don't trust it. So she now knows, and honestly, this ball is going to work great in her rotation.
Yeah, Autumn Morley, she got thrown into the mix of things here tonight because of a couple of girls missing, but she did pretty well.
She did, definitely. I mean, this was her first main varsity start, so it was nice to see her get in here and do well.
Casey Buckman being Casey Buckman, almost a 200 with that 146 sandwich in the middle.
Yeah, she had some rough transition in there, but, you know, the one thing that I like about all these girls, even when they're struggling a little bit, sometimes you'll start to see pouting and all this, and I've had teams in the past where that's happened. This group just takes it in stride and just goes to improve the next ball. It's something that coaches say all the time, but it's nice to have a group that's definitely doing it.
All right, well, the only thing you got left between now and the postseason is the continuation of the Southwestern Conference Tournament Monday and Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Got a lot of work cut out for you in that one, don't you?
I think we're good.
Yeah.
I like where we're at headspace-wise, and then just to have more teams here, more tournament-like atmosphere. The girls have been doing lots of that bonding, that natural bonding that teams do, and so they've been decent all year long, and they've been supportive of each other all year long, but they haven't really pushed as a team. And so I'm looking forward to seeing that on Monday and Tuesday.
All right, well, good luck Monday, Tuesday, and good luck in the postseason, and I'm glad we got to do this again.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
All right, that is Sean Haye. We thank him for the visit, and that's going to do it for us here tonight. A big thank you to Coach Haye joining us in the pre- and the post-game show, and another big thank you to Brandon Campbell joining us on the other microphone. It's kind of nice to have a color commentator to lean on here during some bowling action. All right, next up for us, we're off tomorrow, and we are back to basketball action on Friday. Home game against, you guessed it, Belleville West. We'll be on the air around 7:10 or whenever the JV game ends, and then we'll have the opening tip-off somewhere around the 7:30 mark. My name is Todd Duke, and until tomorrow evening, everybody enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.